got next?
Good evening. Wait a minute. No. Not good evening. Not good evening. Good afternoon. Good
Mm-hmm.
morning.
Yeah.
Depending on which side of the globe you're on.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, everybody? And we're back again. Back with another one. We got episode 4 in the tank. What is going on? It's your boy Shadow Ace holding it down on the ones and twos, of course, with my co-host and the man behind the production, the behind the ones and twos, making sure the vibes are always smooth. The TO of the century. I got to give him that title. The TO of the century. He earned it. Come on, man. I can tell you guys why he earned it later, but for right now, I can sing his praises all day. Sir Retro, how are you doing this fine morning?
Well, I am tired. I will be honest with you guys. I'll be transparent, but I am doing well. Otherwise, I'm excited. Because definitely about today's episode. Well, especially with today's episode. Well, okay, let me introduce myself first. For those who do not know, I'm so retro. I'm tournament organizer of the Mill, Georgia area. Also train players and also run events for other games aside from fighting games. But of course, also play Street Fighter V. Mainly play G. I'm excited for Street Fighter 6. We see on there. Shout outs to Jackal Man. Got JP ready on deck. Of course, got his music. Got the trailer. Saw his trailer and everything. Um,
Hmm.
Also, too, definitely been involved with many other organizations, work local small businesses and stuff, and that's pretty much been my repertoire for the past few years. Actually, it feels weird that it has been that long, but yeah. Um, yep. So that's so retro in a nutshell.
That's go ahead and introduce myself too. This is
Hmm.
Shadow Ace on the ones and twos, commentator, podcaster, player. A man of many hats, man. Man of many hats here in Georgia. Long time Street Fighter competitor here within the state of Georgia, and I've been doing this for years. So I've had the old man veteran stripes at this point. I remember First coming into the scene, I was youngin, but now I'm sitting at the table with the older players, and I'm watching the younger scene come up and grow, and that's just a test of time. But I'm glad to be here, man. I'm glad to be down for this particular season, this series. This is a Street Fighter I Got Next podcast. We'll be talking to a variety of different players and competitive scenes out there in the states. We get to hear their takes and their views and their opinions in regards to the Street Fighter metaverse in general, whether it's Street Fighter 4, 5, Ultra Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 2, like just a variety of games within that title. And we've also talked with tournament organizers, and it's just been an amazing experience, man. You just never know what is gonna, what stories and events that they have to share with us. So I want to first thank everybody who has appeared on this podcast thus far. So we're only going to keep going from here. We're almost in the mid season, and I've already got somebody lined up for episode number 5. So that just goes to show you with all this hard work and
Hey,
dedication that me and Retro are putting in and outputting, we're just getting the return results here. You see this growth. You see people checking out our podcast and stuff, and people are eager to get on. So at first it was like pulling teeth trying to get people to jump on this, man. But now we're so comfortable to the point where we're able to get better over time. So, this is just a culmination of all of that. But yeah, for today's episode 4, we had a guest that was going to join us today, but unfortunately, they weren't able to show up at the moment. They could appear mid podcast, that is a possibility, but from what it's looking like, we couldn't really get a hold of them. So, for right now, it's just going to be me and Retro, and the questions were sort of catered around to that particular individual. I mean, he even got his own, highlight little trailer, man. Again, shout outs to Sir Retro on the production for putting that on.
mm-hmm.
But we're gonna do the best we can, man. We're gonna have a good show regardless, and let's get right into it. I think before we even get to the meat and potatoes of this episode, because this episode was basically going to be the money episode. That's why I like to call it the money talks episode, because there's a lot of things, a lot of events that's been transpiring,
Mm-hmm.
and the future is here. The future of the Street Fighter series is literally right around the corner. We're 3 months away from the launch of Street Fighter 6, and oh my gosh, I know so many different organizations and TOs. They got so many. They got plans, and people are going to travel to this event. They're going to go to this event, this, that, and the third. So it's just going to be a lot. It's going to be a busy. It's going to be a busy summer, as
Mm-hmm.
I like to call it, hot Street Fighter summer. You out there, you heard of hot girl summer, but this is hot Street Fighter summer, for sure,
You ain't
man.
lying. You ain't lying.
Cause yeah, it's going to be a lot of events coming through, man. So, and we're going to talk about that, right? We're going to talk about the sink or swim mentality of
Mm.
what these events are going to do. Should they start off strong by throwing in these 10K, 5K pop bonuses and stuff for their events to just try to get people to come in and play the game? What marketing strategies they're going to use to get people to come out and play.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. I mean, we'll see what happens. But before we even touch those topics, I'm actually too excited to get this out the way. Sir Retro, I know we would normally save it for the end, but I think the people want to get a little taste of what we got going down. I believe, is it next week? No, 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from
Two
now?
weeks from now is the cherry blossom the finals, right?
Yeah,
The
man.
cherry blossom finals.
It's pretty much here now. It's crazy. It's pretty much here. I
It's here.
like
Ah,
if I could tell you, you know how how crazy it is that I remember it's from it been months, it been years ago to months ago to now a few weeks from it. It's crazy.
it's
I
just been such a long time coming, man, for something like this to happen, man. And if I don't know if you have like something prepared, that the people can look at?
Oh, I
I don't know,
oh
maybe
oh
a
I
trailer or
oh I do got something prepared for sure. I,
I mean, they say actions speak louder than words, so I'm just let the trailer. I can let the trailer do the talking.
excuse me. Yeah, let me put it on for you right quick, and y'all guys take on to the stream, and let me transition right quick over here and do it like this to. Let's see if this makes it work this way, so you can at least see it on real time. Okay, cool. If not, hear it. Well, this was actually put in last night, truth be told. But y'all, I'm excited for this. The question is, are you? Let's watch.
They're dancing on the stock. Pop is just playing out of his mind right now. Oh, the dog and up there. Ooh, the Air Force smash, so clean. Pop's so good with that.
Let's mix up. Dang! 3 times the jar! Yo! Yo! Oh my god! They needed that burst. Oh, watch out for the super. He's looking for the super. Are you blocking? Oh, he got the ambulance screen of super.
Woo!
Yes, indeed, giving you what you need so you can succeed, bro. Are you not entertained? That trailer was the business. Retro, what's going on? What is this? Over $1,000 in prize money. What's going on?
Okay,
Top 16 finals? I need a rundown. What's up?
so for those who do not know, what's up, Con Warrior? I see. Oh, money episode. Oh, we could have brought you back here for it because we know. Oh man, but yeah. What's up, Retro Bro? What's going on? But for those who did not know, we are doing a Middle Georgia fight game circuit, and we feature certain games like Street Fighter, Smash, Guilty Gear, and Tekken as the main games. And players will go around the entire area of the middle of Georgia, like Macon, Warner Robins, in between, and they will compete in various tournaments for very amounts of points. Top 15 will qualify by those points, and then we decided it would be more fair if they have a last chance qualifier spot at the finals to get the 16th spot, and then of course, shout out to Swag Out Nerds if you guys are tuned in. They put this out. No, they helped definitely put this together and put it where that many of the money that have been collected over time going towards this event, where we now have an official venue of the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame, a 2-story venue that has, places you can check out in between the matches. You have a theater room, you have extra rooms for club room, ballrooms for various casuals and whatnot. And we're also going to have stuff like food and raffle. And we're going to have some more stuff to be announced later down the line for the event. Definitely, that was a sneak peek. And yeah, the money though, yeah, they put that money towards it. And we even got more money from outside of the group. Shout outs to people in other parts of Georgia. So we had sponsors. This is a huge event for us. This is the finals. Of course, I would say this though. I just got off social media talking to one of the best players in the world. They will be making an appearance as well. So this is where, the middle of Georgia for our scene to make this shine, a moment to definitely, hey, we can run well with the big boys. It may not be final round, it may not be CEO, it may not be, the super combo breaker, but this is a start for us to get that foot in the door to make a mark in the history of the fighting community, especially in Georgia. So I'm super excited and super happy about it. So definitely, like I said, my gratitude to all of Middle Georgia FGC. Without y'all, I will not be here. Thank you, Shadow Ace, and many others in the Data FGC. And without you guys, I would not have the knowledge and the wisdom to pass on and carry on how to run tournaments and how to take care of the fighting community scene. So I'm very grateful. I'm excited. I decided to put this trailer for y'all just to showcase, the amount of hype that we can portray, the amount of, excitement, the amount of money that's going to be taken. Because the thing is, who's going to take that money?
It's very, I'm very excited to, just to be in the building to compete and, spectate this type of an event like this. I mean, it's at the Georgia Hall of Sports, so it's in Macon. So, people have already booked their hotels. They've already got people coming in from out of town, family, friends, spectators alike. And then there could be a lot of opportunities, just from people being in the crowd. You just never know. Someone might want to get in contact. Well, who's organizing this tournament? Who put this together? Who's did this and that? Let's talk for a minute. Let's talk some business. Things like that can happen. You just never know. So I think the fact that an event like this is being ran and you getting eyes that are coming in just to look at your event, you've got to put on a great show because you're representing a product. You're representing yourself. You're representing your team, and this is it. This is a big one for you guys. So I'm excited to be in attendance for that event. But big shout outs to Sir Retro and the team, the Reboot Gaming team as well. I've been going to your events for the past couple of years, and it's just each year it just gets better and better. So I'm very excited to be a part of this, and we'll actually touch back on that event a bit later on. But you did mention a magic word though. You did say the M word, and that's probably that's going to be the main focus here for today's episode because well, before we get there, because I think that was that was an evil thing. Before we did get there, we're gonna touch up on the Capcom Cup. We did like a Capcom prediction episode of
Oh,
like
yeah.
episode 3.5.
That was
and
great.
so so that was a really great episode. So if you missed out on that, you can always go back on the Reboot Retrocade Gaming's YouTube channel and check that episode out. Plus, it has a playlist of the previous season and the current season for the episodes thus far. So, if you missed out on anything, go ahead, you can catch up and check that out.
Yep.
But as far as Capcom Cup goes, we can dive on that. Did you have a chance to check out the finals, Retro?
Oh, did I? Did I? From day one of that week, my eyes were glued, and I was and of course, I was in Facebook chats, Discord chats, Twitter, talking to everybody about this tournament. We were excited for it. We were excited for it. We know it's gonna be the last game for Street Fighter V, for that caliber especially, and but we were, man. I will say this: it was money. The whole talk was about money the whole time, but yeah, dude, we even got excited to the point where we decided to do a Capcom Cup watch party. Especially that final Sunday for the finals. I can tell you, I went to different bars all around downtown. When I just went out, I had I had people. I went to 3 different bars doing the watch party. So the watch party was over at one place at Reboot. I ended up, dude. We ordered wings. We had pizza. We had drinks. We had everything. We sat there and we just yell and scream like, "Who gonna take this? Who gonna take this? Oh my god, you can't, dude!" That was the whole time. But it was to the point where after we left, I was like, I'm gonna watch this. It wasn't over yet, so the bar closed at one Reboot. We walked down to another bar, and one of our players, who's a bartender, and one of our Marvel 2 players, I put on and said, "Hey man, can you put this on YouTube on the TV? Put it on the TV over there," and watched it. And went to then. Of course, we stepped out and go to another bar, and to another bar. Another player, we had another player who also is a bartender at that place.
Wow.
Put it on that TV at that place and watch the rest of the finals, like literally. And then people who had no idea about what was going on, had no idea about fighting games or video games, or whatever. They playing pool, they playing darts, everything. They look on the TV like, "What's this thing going on?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's Street Fighter tournament, blah blah blah." I was spreading the gospel, and people were
spreading the good gospel.
People
in real life.
Yeah,
power to the people,
bruh. They were hooked, and they were asking so many questions. I was telling them what we're doing here. I'm telling them what other parts of Georgia, Atlanta, scene, Savannah, blah blah. I would like I let my passion take over, and they were thrilled about it. And then I was telling them about our event for Cherry Blossom, and they were like, "Oh snap, what?" Blah blah blah. And people, let you know, the few days afterwards, I went to a few days afterwards, I went to one of the bars, and one of them like, "Hey man, my nephew, he plays fighting games, and he keep talking trash to me about this, and I tell him about you, man, because you do all this game stuff. I'll let him." And I heard about the Cherry Blossom. We're gonna try and come down there. That's all I need to hear.
Yeah, because isn't that how close is
so
Reboot from the Hall of
it's
Sports?
like
I think it's like right down the street, right from there.
like a block or two down. Mm-hmm. Like you almost can see it literally from
get the corner,
right? But and yeah, so because it's basically it's at the end of pretty much the end of the downtown area, and it's just right there. And then the best thing about it too, with the parking, is right across the street from it. And yep. So and it's free parking on the weekends. So all you gotta do is park if you want to move your car over there and walk. You walk across the street. You're right there at the venue. So it'll be convenient because then people have to bypass it most of the time to go to the festival itself, which is in the park area behind everything at the end of the town. So the thing is, people who are gonna be looking around and be like, "Whoa, what's going on in here?" Like, "Oh yeah, we have this huge tournament," and that has happened. Walk-ins has happened, and people were hooked, and people had reasons to come, and stay. So,
okay.
But yeah, as far as the Capcom Cup goes, that it pretty much was like that was our Super Bowl, because Super Bowl did happen the week before, and then it was like Capcom Cup. Now this is our Super Bowl, and we were watching it like it was Super Bowl. We were yelling, cheering. We were saying, "Yeah, man, I bet I hope that this player won," and also to see so many different countries, like South Africa of all places, to definitely make a mark on that in the finals.
For sure, the representation was very strong, and I really do like that format. I like the group stage format. Like at first I was like, I don't know about this. I think it should be like a big bracket or something. But I like this particular round robin format because you get a chance to see again players you don't see that often, right? And this is their, they waited. Unfortunately, it was the last year for the game for Street Fighter V for it to happen. But I think this is like a good test pilot system for Street Fighter 6 because, if when Street Fighter 6 for next year, more countries might even be represented. So the
Mm-hmm.
fact that you get to see characters, you even saw like characters you don't really see that often, get showcased like that. So I was glad the diversity was like really strong within Capcom Cup. Like the last chance, like I even saw like the whole week. I was like, yeah, a whole week of this and this, and I'm like,
Yeah,
nah, we're not used to that. We
that
used to the
format.
whole weekend being, one last chance qualifier being one day or something, but they had spread it out throughout the entire week. So, with this being,
Mm.
the last for this game, I was so glad I was able to see and watch so many really great, strong matches. Because I got paid, so it's I think I had earned enough to secure my copy of my pre-order copy for Street Fighter 6, as many side bets and stuff, so it was like, hey, I got this on this match, I got this on this match. I'm not
Man.
encouraging gambling, but I'm
Mm.
saying, we just having a good time, man. We just had a good time with these particular matches, and of course there was some breakout players too as well. Of course, being Zen and his Bison, yo,
That
Zen and his Bison,
was man, oh
god
man, oh
dang,
man. And the thing is, I'm not sure you saw. That's his first offline tournament period.
that's how yo, like where has he been?
Online,
Like whose Bison is this, yo?
online.
I need to know.
Like, but here's, I have here's the thing is like this little analysis on him, how to play Bison. Cause I was watching it so much. He knew how to use the safest Bison buttons, and abused it, and just heavy punch, knee, heavy punch, this, cancel the V trigger, two. This, like, he was, man, it was like the most aggressive, but knowing how to play it, you know, the way he played that Bison was ridiculous, man. He,
Yeah,
it,
yeah, it was a definitely, you saw a lot of like really strong awareness from him. He utilized all of Bison's tools correctly, and
yeah,
just
the
everything just
best
came
tools
together.
too.
It was like mwah! It was caviar. It was caviar. That Bison was ridiculous. And then we got like a lot of different players got a lot of chance to see characters and stuff you don't see that often. We had Kichi Pamu with the Alex. Alex got second place
Thank you,
in the
Alex.
last chance
Thank
qualifier.
you.
Like, Alex, I thought this character was Cheeks.
Well, I mean, thank you, Alex, for my $15. That's all I say.
Nobody was, because people were betting against Alex. I was like, oh, bro, it's Alex. Alex is bad. He got buffed. You just started hearing the good old group debate and stuff. So it was a really exciting time, right? So the fact that nobody had Kichi Pamu getting second place, like getting grand finals in the last chance qualifier on their bingo card was just it was perfect. It
Oh
was
man,
perfect.
this is two things though. One thing is kind of funny to me. It was just when every time an Ed player won in the group chat, someone posted the Ed picture of him smiling, and I keep thinking about you.
Oh yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, shout out to you though.
I would
Ed,
die.
put the Ed meme in there. I kept dying.
But
Yeah,
the that had me
that was great,
crying.
man.
The second one though. Now,
Uh-huh.
if this person won the last chance qualifier, he deserved it. And there was I saw this during the event. Is the Rice Mark Barnett, the fact he walked 7 hours to the venue.
See now that particular story right there.
That's
The fact that Capcom didn't give him nothing for that. Like, can they get a hitbox or hurt box or something? Xbox,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Some kind of, a toy box, something.
He said hurt boxes, like his feet was hurting after that walk.
I know. He had a hurt box.
Good.
Yeah, man. But Right Man's Barney, he made that journey, man. Apparently, it's like he got off of as soon as he got off of the plane, from the port, he just walked. He just walked from the port to there. So I'm like,
That blew up on Twitter, and I was sitting there like, yeah, 7 hours. Like
Yeah.
someone, I'm not sure if it was true or not, but someone said joke that it was also in Crocs.
In Crocs too? Come on, man.
I'm not sure.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, I don't know. Did he get a Red Bull or something? Did he get any type of energy drink, some kind of
Wait,
caffeine or something?
did he get something to
I
eat on
don't.
the way there?
Something to drink, yo? Did he have a beverage or something? Like, there's no way.
Cause
There's no
7 hours you will
way.
be at somewhere in somewhere like 2 3 hours,
Dehydration.
right? Dehydrated, hungry, something. Yeah, unless you
Yeah.
had like bag of peanuts or okay.
I don't know. Airplane snacks or something like cranberry. What they give you? Cranberry juice,
that
pineapple juice on the
that thing
plane.
don't fit.
Yeah.
You know that
Some
crab.
ocean spray. Yeah. They gotta give you a little can or something. Like he had to. There's no way. I was like, yo, this man had to have something to drink with them. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, 7 hours. That's oh my
But
gosh, that's amazing.
but it speaks though for the
The power of
dedication.
being young.
Right. That and then the dedication to play, like I said, it's Capcom Cup, and then like I said, it's the final big tournament for something like that for Street Fighter Five. So it's like
Hmm.
you got to make it somehow, some way, and and then the money that there was the prize pool that was offered at the time, you know, that's still hey, you make it a last chance qualifier, do the 48 people shoot, you walk away really well. So, it, dude, I really was excited for it. I actually probably that's still, if not, probably still the best, probably my best like Capcom Cup for me. I mean, for over the years of the series, Capcom Cup has had crazy moments, and like, and they have talked about the history. The last episode we talked about the history of it. That we have various countries outside of Japan starting to take over. And
Hmm.
you have America, you have the Dominican Republic, and then it was back and forth, and then went to other countries and stuff like that. But then the representation with the countries, causing upsets, or hey, this person from United Arab Emirates, they taking out these players, and this Daigo's out, and then this player's out, and Oil King couldn't make it, and oh man, who is this new kid on the block? This person's 17 years old, 18 years old. The variety and the diversity was amazing to see, and then even the fact it amplified it with the 48 players and the Capcom Cup, man.
And that's the trend that we're gonna see going into to 6-2,
Oh
right?
man.
We're gonna see
Oh,
where
a lot more.
it's to the point where our players can keep up. Remember the gap was so huge between. It was always you would always see Japan like 6 or 7 players in top eight of this event and that event, and now players are starting to catch up and is able to compete. So now it's to the point where back then you used to be so shocked that this person beat a Japanese player because they were such on a higher echelon of
Hmm.
just being really strong and being a really strong threat, and people would pop off for beating the player. USA, USA. You would always hear those chants and stuff
Hmm.
whenever their matches were being played on stream and stuff, and then when they won, it's like it was a reason to celebrate because they were such a strong player. Now it's to the point where okay, this person beat this high tier player, and it's just another day in the office
Hmm.
because it's closing the gap on the skill, and that's what you're going to start to see. Um, because there was the stigma of, well, Japan always gets games first.
Hmm.
They always they got game centers on every corner in Japan. They get early access to this game and that, and we're at the stage now where any other country can be a threat. So it's such a good thing to see the
Hmm.
growth and development of that, right? So that's why this Capcom Cup was looking so diverse. It was looking really great with a lot of characters. And for the Street Fighter Five, since it's the end of life for this game, 7 years, we get to see those we get to see those characters played at the higher levels. We get to see a Fong making top eight, a Luke. I mean, we get to see Fong, we get to see Rashid, Dawson, Poison, Cody,
Vega.
Balrog, Vega and stuff. We get to see those characters because these are the characters that can push. I mean, these are the players that use those characters that can push themselves to get to that level,
Hmm.
right? So they're able to compete. Back in the day, if you told me the top eight results or top 16 results from Capcom Cup a few years ago, I wouldn't have believed you. I would have been like, bro, there's no way this character is in top 16. There's no way this person or this player is doing this and that. But now it's starting to be the gap is starting to close. So I think for Street Fighter 6 we'll definitely see more variety, and we might even, possibly one day get a new a Capcom Cup champion that's like from a country that nobody expected. So I'm glad to see this, man. I'm glad to see the variety and diversity of the characters in this game. But let's talk about before we move on to the segue to the next. So we talked about the last chance qualified in. What was one of your favorite matches that you witnessed when you were doing your bar hopping adventures?
Okay, well, not because of he won some stuff for me, but yeah, yeah, Kabacha Maru, man, because that his outs made it ridiculous. That was him. It was too many good matches. That was the thing. It was him. Definitely Zen. I'm trying to think. Cause I remember I did tweet out I think one of my favorite ones, and it was one of the matches with the Fong. It wasn't. It wasn't. Is it Vega? What's his name? Vega something.
Mega Patch.
Vega Patch. His Fong.
Hmm.
That. See. Dang.
So his match, his
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which one in particular. Cause I know I tweeted about it, but
was it the when he was playing? Was he playing that M Lizard? Was it the Vega?
yes,
The Vega versus Fong match?
it was crazy because like those characters are considered both little tiers in a sense. But I want to say the matchup is in Vegas. No, I think it's Fong's favor. Like Fong has some good matchup favors. I want to say either Claw or Vega, and one other, or it's the other way around. But man, it was just ridiculous. Um,
That particular, like, just to see that type of match, the way Vega Patch was playing M Lizard, like the corner lockdown,
yes, thank
he
you.
couldn't play. M Lizard, he couldn't get out of the corner. He was literally stuck in the corner, and this all you saw was purple buttons presses. You jump out, you getting hit. Like it was complete lockdown, and there was literally nothing he could have, like. It felt like he was nothing he could have done, because he, like, if you get into the corner, especially against certain characters in this game, they become extremely powerful because of that. There's limited
Hmm.
space to run. You can't move anywhere, so you're gonna take this pressure, and that's exactly what Vega Patch did with his Fawn. So that match right there, yeah, that was like, dang, you get to see Fong play like that. But the fact that fight Vega Patch got top eight with the Fong was good too, man. That was a lot of hard work he had to put in for that character. So you know, big shout outs to him. But I'll probably say mine um, would probably go to Endon Walker, of course. Even though he's a fellow
Dude,
fellow Ed player, but Endon Walker's run was pretty impressive to me. This young man, he was only 9 years old when this game came out. He was a toddler, you know, and then the fact that he's like, he's 16 now, 16, going on 17 probably. So it's just like, yo, he literally grew into this game.
yeah, that's
He grew
crazy.
into it. So yeah, he went through teenagers. He's going through teenage years through this game. So the fact that he was able to compete at this particular level, and then he got like what fifth,
Yeah,
I
dude.
think.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got
he got
fifth.
fifth. Yeah,
Okay,
so he got fifth.
Kawano losing. Cause Kawano lost to Vega Patch. That was the other one too. I think. Cause he lost to Fang.
Okay, yeah, because Kawano was using Luke and I think Colleen.
Colleen, yeah.
Yeah,
Because everybody, yeah, I remember that. I had looked at the Facebook chat and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. Cause I remember like, bruh, what is this going on? And it was 3-0. And
hey, it was a lot. We saw that a lot. We saw a lot of
that
3-0s
was a
and
lot.
0-5s. And, oof, it's rough.
Like I
It's
said,
rough. The competition was fierce.
Takamura, man, that Takamura just, good lord, that man, dude was just Belgium was putting on a show. That dude was just wrecking house.
The lone Akuma in the top 16. He was like
Bruh.
on the last. Well, Akuma and Ken. He was the
Yeah,
only
he did switch
player in
again. I
there.
remember. Yeah, he
Yeah.
just. But man, that dude was cleaning house. He made it out of the
hmm
group. No, because it was so many. There were moments where like you knew like nah he can beat Idon. Like Idon gonna win this. He can take this. Man, there was moments where I remember we constantly was like, what is going on? What are they doing? The scrambles, cause it was so many matches. It was so many matches. I
hmm
just like for me, I think honestly, I had my particular, but I was so excited just to see Street Fighter matches at that going crazy at that level, and then when the scrambles happened, like everyone started losing their minds. People start almost near heart attacks. People were like, I need a drink. I need this. I need like it was so many, but man, talking to you, Takamura sweeping house, Zen sweeping house, like it was just man.
Yeah, it was a lot of really really good matches. And it was. I'm glad that that Capcom Cup was able to give Street Fighter V its send off, right?
Mm-hmm.
7 years. And we just getting we're going into the next generation. What's crazy what's interesting to think about.
Mm-hmm.
You know how there's like the 09ers is with the Street Fighter 4, and then the 16ers is with
Mm-hmm.
Street Fighter 5. Now we got the 23ers with Street Fighter 6.
Oh my gosh, we're in a new generation again. I just feel
That's 3 generations of Street Fighter.
I feel I'm an
That's
old
going on.
niner, and I feel like it feels weird because like it feel like I haven't been in that long. I haven't been
It
involved that
don't
long, but then yeah,
it don't feel like that, do it? It feels like it just doesn't. But we're here, yo. That's the thing. Like how like '09 was like our may have been our first exposure to
correct,
the competitive side of the Street
right,
Fighter.
right.
With Street Fighter 4. Now you think about it, it's 23. You got 2023 is going to be someone's first exposure with Street Fighter.
Oh,
So
it's gonna be a
they're gonna start
lot.
with Street Fighter 6.
Oh, it's gonna be a lot. The thing is, though, I will say it. They will have it a better start than what 16ers had to extent.
Oh yeah, they're coming in at a good
I
age.
mean,
They're
and
definitely coming in at a good age.
it's gonna be a lot more people too that's gonna be outside of the game community be involved, obviously. Because here's the thing, I think I told you before, and people for those in chat who doesn't know, um, a month or so ago, when watching the WWE Royal Rumble, next thing you know, when one of the female wrestlers that came out, she in in the jury costume, and I saw Street Fighter 6 in the banners, and we were like, what was going on? And found out she was going to be a commentator for Street Fighter 6. And
See?
yeah, and she even did the jury super in the Royal Rumble. So So that's a huge attraction for a lot of those wrestling fans that doesn't play fight games like that. To see their wrestlers now playing fighting games, that's a whole new generation of people already, especially the younger generation, to get into it. Then they had that, yeah, Selena Vega, thank you. And then they had the game showcase on SNL. Michael B. Jordan was actually helped promote the game when they made joke of like doing voice acting and saying silly things what Ryu Ken says instead of like the actual Hadoken words, whatever. So that's a whole new audience of SNL that probably don't really play fight games or know about Street Fighter a thing or two. That's a new generation. So the way that Capcom is marketing that, and then on top of everything, that's part of the factors of what we're going to see for Street Fighter 6 when it drops. It's going to have that. And then of course we'll get to the big news, but the fact that in general, like the fact people are calling aunts and uncles and the little nieces and nephews and the little cousins, their sons and daughters and the children in general, and be like, hey, when the new Street Fighter drops, well, I'm gonna buy this for you. I'm gonna buy this, and the control features gonna be more open. It's so many factors. So where this new generation of players, when it comes to that leading to the competitive world, oh man, I'm scared. I'm scared, but I'm excited to see what they're gonna do.
I'm excited for the next gen to step up as well.
I'm ready to teach
like
them.
you said, a lot of marketing is being put into the game, which is a great sign. There's a lot of promotion, a lot of pushing, a lot of polishing and development.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a really good job of communicating and advertising the game so far. I mean, the hype for the characters that are coming out, the trailers and stuff. You got people getting hype and doing trailer reviews and all this content creation stuff just to get ready for the game. You got people analyzing trailers, like they're
Oh
breaking
yeah.
down. You got like 6-9 minute breakdowns of a 1 or 2 minute trailer about what they think the characters are gonna be like in the game, and I'm like, yeah, this is too much. It's
No,
too much, but
don't
this is what's necessary. This didn't happen in 5, right? There wasn't this much of a push
don't forget
content creation wise during the launch of 5.
don't forget the tier list.
Yeah, tier list. That's crazy. Data tier lists, music tier lists, like all kinds of little
Yeah.
tier lists that they got going on. And I mean, it's a good thing, man. It's a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing because even if Street Fighter 6 may not work out for them, there's still other games out there that are added on to events that they could try to compete in, and they can branch off into those particular games if it doesn't work out. So that's why I say this is Street Fighter. It's off to a really great start. It's going to bring back a lot of older players
Mm-hmm.
too as well. So you get to may see somebody in your scene that you haven't seen in years, and probably decades even, and you get to see them with all the gray or whatever on
Oh,
their end,
already we do
and
that. We already have, man.
yeah, yeah. So you get to see them come back and press some buttons for the one time. So that's really it's really off to a great start. So we only got about 3 months, around the corner until showtime. So, I'm very excited to see what the direction is for that. So, yeah, good stuff. Yeah, very very entertaining. Capcom Cup finals, and we're getting end of an era and the beginning of a next 7 years, 2016 to 2023. That's it. And at this point, you would be looking at Street. I mean, I'm not gonna say Street Fighter V is completely quote unquote done. I think that the game will get the side tourney treatment though. Like you'll see the main game lineup, this, that, and the third, but you'll probably see like a side game, like it goes to the Street Fighter V. We'll have it on the side, or some tournaments might not even feature it at all because they were waiting for the death of it. So
I could imagine
you know,
Painbot just face palming right now at the thought of someone trying to run Street Fighter 5. Because
look, Oh, Chris. Look, shout out to FGC Chris, of course. You know, he's always down with us, man. Been with us since day one, our day one, the MVP for sure. He says, it's done. He says it's done, Ace. I was like, Chris, that's it, Chris? We gotta pack it up. It's done. Hey, I know people have been waiting for this day, man, but look, I think you know what? No. I'm not. I can't say it's really done because I think that it'll be a resurgence probably a few years down the line. Because that's what. Think about it. That happens with all the. That happens with primarily all of the games, right? If say for example, and I'm not gonna jinx it. I don't want to jinx it.
Hmm.
Say for further down the line as the game meta develops for Street Fighter 6, right? You got all these characters, they get fleshed out, all the tech and stuff gets discovered, and hey, did you know you could do this in the corner? Oh, this becomes like a 50 immediate 50-50. You got to guess in this situation and stuff like that. It's gonna come out, right?
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Once people lab these characters, lab the matchups, lab the frame data and things like that. Um, the reason why I say all of this is because people still would have Street Fighter V programmed into their minds, so it
Hmm.
won't necessarily just disappear unless you like just don't run the game at all. But I think it is going to be like a side game status for sure. You know, you might break it out one day. Hey man, let's do a tournament for this and something. Oh, I thought people hated this game, so I think it's just that's just my opinion though. That's just how I feel. I don't think it's completely done. I just think that
Hmm.
as of right now, with the main focus being on Street Fighter Six, it's just gonna be the first year Street Fighter Six is gonna be the most crucial because that's gonna set the tone for the rest of the game. You know, rest of the game's lifespan. So Capcom already knows they got to hit the ground running with this one. They know they can't mess up. So we'll see what happens though. We'll see what happens with five. I don't like again. I don't think five will be done, but I do think it is definitely going to get the side game status. Retro, what are your thoughts?
Okay. You know what? I'm not going to argue against it either, because, I mean, I want to say. That's all Chris said.
Rehab. I gotta go to rehab.
um,
Hey man, look.
I think yeah. I think
I go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. Like I said, I don't think Street Fighter Five is going to go away, especially anytime soon. You know, I mean, towards the end of the life cycle, I mean, it took a while to get to a point where it's very more enjoyable than it is. But I think as far as like people try to keep it going for a little bit. People might. I think it'll be a side tournament. It'll just be like that faithful few. And I'll say this. Definitely towards the end. Street Fighter Five is a fun game. And I enjoy it from time to time. I know for me, when Street Fighter Six come out, I cannot see myself going back to that game. You know,
Yeah, there's no worries. You don't got to sugarcoat it. Keep it a buck. Be like, hey, look, when six come out, five is in the trash or something. You don't gotta. We don't hold back over here, Retro. Go ahead.
Because
let them know how you feel. How you feel?
Because the thing is now, and actually a lot of people told me during the about the Cherry Blossom Festival because Street Fighter Five might be the Cherry Blossom Festival might be the last tournament for Street Fighter Five in our scene. Because many people said as soon that tournament is over, they're gonna delete the game. So they yes, literally I had people that told me they're gonna delete that game.
You know what? You know what should happen?
Mm-hmm.
We should do like a toast. Because think about it. If it'll be the last one,
Mm-hmm.
if that is indeed the case, that'll be like most of the scenes are gearing up and getting ready for six and stuff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And if whenever whichever scene decides to hold their very last Street Fighter V tournament, they gotta celebrate, right? They gotta celebrate. It's that's it. That's
Yeah.
that'll be the Dunzo status. You got to raise a toast, get the champagne. And bring out the caviar. But yeah, man, I do think it'll be shelved. I do think it'll be shelved for a while. But I'm not gonna count it out just yet. I definitely think it'll be side game status. Like give it like a year or so. Um, and it won't be in the main lineup, but it'll probably be like how most of the main games are like $10. Like
Mm-hmm.
main titles are like $10 or something. I think this one will be $5, $1, or maybe even a free episode, a free game. Who knows?
Yeah.
But regardless, it had a good run, it had a great run. Um, but we're just people are just fed up. Just to sum it up,
Uh,
they want something fresh, they want something new,
yeah.
and there's only so much you could take. And I'm gonna mess with Pangbot about this a bit later. So I'm definitely gonna invoke his old man rant spirit a bit later. I'm just gonna walk in, I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna just say Street Fighter, and I want to see what he says. I know he's gonna go off,
Just say no,
but
Street Fighter 5 in particular. Then
yeah, just walk. That's all you got to do. Just say Street Fighter 5, and that's it. Then you get 3 hours of content just off of that. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I'm definitely
uh,
excited. For the future for sure. So we talked about Capcom Cup. Discuss a little bit about the next generation,
mhm.
and now we got to move on to after Capcom Cup. We had the EVO announcement lineup, right? We had
We
EVO.
did. Oh
We
yes.
had some EVO. Well, first of all, shout out to Chipotle.
Uh,
You know what I'm
dude, that the
saying?
5 minutes after they said that, I'll get my free burrito. But buy one get
I
one.
already I had my free burrito. That was my lunch for work.
Hey, I think. I mean, of course, I got to the end of the month, so I got plenty of
Yeah.
time. But
But if you missed out on those codes, they went pretty fast. But yeah, shout outs to I guess sponsored by Chipotle, powered by burritos and taco bowls and stuff. But Evo is out there. I guess one of their main sponsors. So, but yeah, Evo did their announcement lineup, and they announced a game that probably was on some people's bingo cards, but they didn't expect it to be announced. What game was that, Retro?
I'm gonna say it to him as well. Hope he can. I'll let him know. Shout out to Tone Never Sleeps. Tampa Never Sleeps. Is it Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
That's it. There it is. Big shouts to Tom from Tampa Never Sleeps, and they've been pushing and supporting that game
And it's
for a long time. So
oh yes,
you know,
and it's crazy.
Marvel.
Yeah, it's and it's crazy because we've been started doing Marvel tournaments for the past year or so too, and of course we didn't really think about if many people want to try to play the game. It'd be like the faithful few, and of course it got to one point. Well, this is a little side thing, but fortunately during the Capcom Cup party, one of our big Marvel players, Domo Chaos, passed away, and he was a big Marvel fan. So we will be doing something special for him during the
Like a vigil.
the memorial
Memorial.
small memorial
Nice.
during the
Very nice.
Cherry Blossom, because he qualified for he did qualify for the finals for Tekken, and
Okay, so he qualified for the finals of for Tekken. So
and-
during the Tekken, you guys are gonna do the vigil for.
yeah, we have we'll work. Yeah, I put something together for sure. But
Nice.
in addition, though, I'm actually planning to do a special Marvel tournament. Maybe after like in April or so. That's something I'm working on. But yeah, like as far as it goes, we actually recently have 5, 6. No, well, no, it's growing. It's growing. We actually literally got a bunch of new people, like young, and they're 18 or 17 years old, and they been talking about playing Marvel for Marvel 2 and 3. They play Marvel 3 especially, and we had a Marvel tournament last month, and of course that was, oh boy, it was crazy because not that I didn't think it would be a ball in the park. Yeah, Porchop was there, and yes, Darius or that you should have been there too. But I know you in Kansas doing your thing, so shouts to you. But we had someone from named Pollywood. Shouts to him. He they came down, and we had our.
From Bama, right? Or is it Pollywood from Bama? From
He
Alabama?
lives. I think he lives in Atlanta now.
Oh, okay.
When I checked his profile in the registration, but yeah, he lives up north, and I remember because he won. But the thing was, we had at least 6 or 7 of our people play in that tournament playing Marvel, and so we had like at least 8, 9 people from Marvel, and I was like, oh, the thing is though, every time we bring it up, even people who don't play Marvel, they will come and watch. It's that game, and
It's just that game.
and then
Yeah.
the fact that because the thing is, the crazy part about it, shortly after, was like, oh yeah, the EVO lineup is going to happen, and one of our big Marvel guys, shouts to Toast and Tom, was like, hey, man, I don't think like Marvel going to return and stuff like that. I love this game to death, and this game is the best, blah blah blah. That made my life, blah blah. So I remember watching the announcement. And I remember actually he called me that few minutes before the lineup happened, and was like talking about playing matches and talking about Marvel. We need to do a Marvel thing together. Marvel this, Marvel that. And I was like, yeah. And when they dropped that trailer and you hear that Capcom presents, you don't need to hear anything else. That I sat there like, what? And then I called him back. I said, congratulations. And he was like, what? He was like, yeah, Marvel is back at EVO. And he was like, excuse me, what? I said, yep, it's going to get to 25K prize pool.
For all of the main games.
All the main games.
Get that 25. Yeah.
But it's crazy, though. That's like, that presentation was, man.
Yeah, I like the reveal show. That it was very informative. They gave you hotel information, sign up links and stuff. They did little advertisements. You saw the commentators. You saw like Spooky, Steve, and all of them in the background.
Oh yeah, playing chess. Yeah,
yeah, playing chess and just talking, playing cards and stuff. So I like the little ambience that they had set up. Very very good show. Big shout outs to Yipes and Ryan Hart for making that, for doing that. But yeah, that Marvel, yeah, cause Rick Dehodo, like he's over Evil now, so it's he's like introducing like a retro series type thing. And
I cannot. Oh
so
man,
he's bringing back, I guess he's gonna. I guess the plan is to bring back one older game, for people to, compete back in. So since Marvel got the first slot for this year, automatically, I already know what the next game is going to be for next year. And what do you think is going to be the game for next year?
if you're thinking Marvel 2, then yes. I say either
You would think Marvel. You would think Marvel 2 would be for next year?
either Marvel 2 or Third Strike.
Okay, I could see Third Strike. But my guess for 2024, and I'm locking it in right now. You can archive this. March 5th, 2023 is going to be Ultra Street Fighter 4. That's going to be the game for next year. So Marvel got it this year. Next year it's going to be Ultra. I can sign, sealed, and deliver that. I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised about it. But man, I hope everybody gonna be ready for this Elena and El Fuerte.
Everybody just need to run wild one more time. I mean, look at Elena. She's already like one of the most popular characters on Street Fighter Duel. So it's like, yo, why not bring her back for Ultra for next year? So
I actually was kind of distracted for a moment. I was actually playing a little Street Fighter Duel. Shout outs to them. Shout outs to the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's your team on Street Fighter Duel?
Well, thing. The Let me pause right quick. But no, I still got the Cholos and Ryu, Ken, and Chun Li and stuff. They didn't, yeah, because I haven't got no, who else I get? I got Sea Viper.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I got Street Fighter Four. Obviously, they're all Street Fighter Four. But yeah, I got Sea Viper, Ryu, Ken, Chun Li. I'm trying to get my man Dudley. Cause I'm still like early. I didn't really play too much, but I've been playing a little bit in between. But yeah, I'm trying to get my man Dudley and trying to get Cody and yeah, one or two others. So
Yeah, there's a lot of really good strong teams out there, like good mix of characters that you can use and stuff. But for most of that, like from what I've seen from a majority of the clips and stuff, everybody almost had Alina because she could heal,
of
because she got
course,
healing,
of
because she
course,
got healing. So your characters go in there and do all this damage and stuff. They get hit. She in the background just healing.
nice.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the teams I've been seeing is like Bison. I saw like was it Bison, Gen,
Mm-hmm. I see a bunch of Bisons.
Adon, Adon, Elena. I want to say DeCapri or Cammy. But yeah, they got a guy too as well. So yeah, it's a variety of different characters they can use, and then they got those off-brand characters too as well, like Patrick and John or something like that. I was like, yo, who are the heck are these
I
characters,
know.
bro?
Yeah, I like. Oh man.
Yeah.
Random fact. And I think I posted in the group chat. We almost did not get Cammy in on Street Fighter Five.
From oh yeah, when they did the developer thing to
Yeah.
let you know guys know what the thoughts was behind when they were designing the characters.
Mm-hmm. And we actually want to have the Capri instead of Cammy, which was
I
interesting.
think that would have been interesting. And then you could actually see some of it when you play the story mode, because when you fight her, she's like what, the most complete character.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she has moves and stuff like that. Only thing she didn't have was like supers and V reversals and all that. But she, like, for the most part, like a lot of her moves were more complete than the other dolls. So she was definitely, I feel like it was like one of the last minute decisions to put Cammy instead of the Capri, because her move set was like complete. It was weird, but
Mm.
interesting though. But yeah, but yeah, Evo definitely is gonna be interesting, for sure. The revival. Well, it's already a revive,
Yeah.
but it's just a revival of that game being at Evo, for making it happen. So big shout outs to all the Marvel heads
Mm-hmm.
out there that are running these tournaments, are still playing the game. You got the Marvel veterans, the people who've been there since Vanilla Marvel are, they got interested in coming to Evo to play again and stuff. So that's a Marvel's an '09 game. Gotta think about it. Vanilla
Mm.
Marvel, Marvel vs.
Mm-mm-mm.
Capcom 3.
That game.
So those players are old now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Wait.
Yo, and they coming back. So
Yeah. 12 plus years
shoot.
old. Good
Uh huh.
lord. I,
Oh
I
yeah.
remember buying a steel book of the original, and I got Shuma and Jill for free DLC. I still remember that. It had the comic book with it too. We had
I had the same.
When the last time we had the a manual. Back in my day, we had manuals in our fighting games.
Back in my day, don't say that retro. No. But yeah, they had the steel book, the black steel book with the, yeah. I remember that. I remember, going to one of those beta. Not, yeah, it was like a beta party for here in Georgia. They had it at that little factory or something, and I remember the Felicia cosplayer.
Mm,
They had the Morgan cosplayers, and they had DJs and stuff. They was like promoting that game, and it was a good time, man. But that was back in the younger youth days. But the fact that that game's been there since '09,
hmm.
it's like, yo, those players that been playing since then, and they heard about the Marvel, Ultimate Marvel coming back at
Yeah.
Evo. It's like they had to get out the bingo hall and into the lab. So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. But good stuff to them for sure. So yeah, we're gonna move on, man. We're gonna move on to the next topic here. And speaking of Evo,
Mm-hmm.
what else we got for Evo? There was actually something that was announced for Street Fighter. Was it Street Fighter 6, I believe?
Yep. It'd be the first. Well, yeah, Street Fighter 6.
No, Capcom Cup. No, that was Capcom Cup. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you
But
good,
yeah,
you good, you
Capcom
good.
Cup. Yeah, that's the $1 million. Let's talk about that.
Man,
Quote unquote. Is it money?
uh, man, let me tell you something, man. I remember when that announcement dropped for that 2 million, which is the total. But yes, first place gets 1 million. Man,
$1
Twit
million.
you just play the you should everyone was playing the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire theme song.
You saw so many memes. You saw all the memes
Man,
and stuff come out.
but I will speak for our scene because our scene, like I said, shout out to Big Boss DP and a few others. One was like messaging everybody in his family and was like, "Get my nieces and my nephews. We are gonna go do a summer boot camp for Street Fighter 6 when that game comes out. We're gonna win this $1 million,
Hey,
bruh."
you know what? I think he's dead serious too.
Yeah.
He's dead serious. I don't even think he's joking.
That's the funniest
I
part.
don't even think he's joking.
I mean, it was everybody. My I checked Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Discord. It was berserk. People were going berserk. And like I said, you post on the memes about how people get out of the car and walk into the first local for the $1 million.
That's everybody coming in there with a suit. You know, they got to take. You know what?
Bruh,
They go come in with a briefcase that's like
man.
plated in gold, and just to take their controllers out or their sticks out. That's how it is. It's money now. You know,
Bruh.
money changes things, man.
But the thing
That's
is,
true.
the crazy part of it is, and pretty much this is probably part of your point, and we're trying to get to. This is huge because this is the type of thing we've been fighting for years for. We've been in our local scenes, in our majors, in our regionals. Everybody be like, man, I wish we had money to make like a no. Yeah, we have $1,000 at the most at this point or at this point. Man, we're gonna make a lot of money in fighting games and this. No, look at League of Legends. They get millions of dollars. They get this much money. What happened to the fight game scene? Capcom said, "All right, here you go. You're gonna become a millionaire playing, winning Street Fighter."
That is life changing. That's life career changing type money.
Just,
And you think about it, right? Think about it this as well. So from Capcom Cup, you had Meta. Meta's the two-time champion.
yeah,
He's a two-time champion. He has a good payday. You know, he got paid out pretty
yeah, yeah.
handsomely just for playing Street Fighter. And he'll do whatever he needs to do with his funds. But when you look at $1 million, well, we're not gonna count. We're not gonna do taxes and all this other.
No.
It's not gonna be $1 million. It's actually gonna be. Nah, come on.
Hey,
Bro.
look, right now
Anywho,
it's tax season, so right now.
it's tax season. They coming for their cut. Uncle Sam wants a cut.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
no, because someone said said the final boss is going to be the IRS agent.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. You go get hit with the Shungoku Satsu Raging Demon IRS by IRS agent when you win. So you hold the check, you just gonna see an agent come off the stage and just do Raging Demon towards the check.
I lost Super Turbo. It's like round one fight. You're like, what?
Yep, there it is. Frame one.
But
Hold on, run these numbers real quick. But yeah, that is really life changing money right there,
yeah,
man. For someone to win that, and I don't think not even outside of just winning. I think even for top 8, like even for for top 8, they're still going to get a really strong payout,
Oh yeah,
for sure.
because yeah,
So I think even with top 8, you still get a good cut. So, but it's just that $1 million. It's just got everybody acting up.
man. But
That $1 million announcement.
but you can imagine though, like this is the fact, like especially the older players, like you said, because all these years, how we started out, it was in the arcade rooms, garages, basements, and you play Street Fighter One, Street Fighter Two, and into since Street Fighter Three. You've been playing those games all your life, many for money, of course for tournaments like that, money, playing to have fun, playing to you put amount of quarters year after year since the 80s, 90s, and now you in this 2020s, and now you mad yourself playing Street Fighter, and you can get $1 million. But you know what? It's gonna be funny though for all the old players. I'll say even including me. It's somehow if I get to $1 million, that's basically making all that money back I spent in the quarters for playing through all the Street Fighter games at the arcade.
Nah, for sure, man. I mean, who knows? Who knows who's going to be the first? Who's going to get that million?
Right.
It's just when they get it. I don't know. They might have to. I don't know if they're going to have to move or anything like that. They definitely might not have to be in the same environment that they were. I don't know what their environment is like, but for them to get that, it's
Mm-hmm.
just after all these years, you go to a tournament and stuff, maybe a regional, maybe out of
Mm-hmm.
state tournament, you may win like $50 or $100. You wouldn't dream of even making, winning 500 or $1,000 or something like that. But just for playing Street Fighter, that's a crazy amount of funds, just to press these buttons,
Mm-hmm.
right? And let me ask you this, because this kind of segues into another topic.
Go for it.
We're on the verge of esports being an Olympic event, an official and Olympic
Yeah.
event.
I remember.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, go ahead.
I remember at one point it wasn't like the Intel Olympic thing or something like that. It wasn't.
Mhm.
I'm not sure it was fully featured, but it was like announced like when Street Fighter Five, and when I like, oh snap, that was crazy. Even going back, at one point they had Street Fighter Five at the White House, the tournament exhibition at the White House.
Yeah, I remember. I think I remember
Just the
that. That was like
one.
during the early years, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but now, like I said, the fact is reaching to that level, you know, especially in the competition for the Olympics. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised at this point. It would be a Olympic esports series, if not
Of course,
already.
some people will look down on it, but it is what it is.
Hmm. Shoot, like I said, money talks.
Hey, that's that's it. I mean, it's not quite League of Legends level, or the
No,
big old land tournaments. It's not that type
right.
of level as of yet,
Mm.
but this is definitely a step towards that direction, because of course this tournament here is, like I said earlier, it has everybody acting up. So you're gonna have people coming in from different genres of
Hmm.
games, just to try to learn and grow, and and that's another good thing. That's another good thing too. So people who dabbled in five and may have put it down or don't play as often, and they were just waiting for another game, they're gonna pick this back up. They're gonna pick it back up, and you're going to see the rising growth in locals. Locals are going to start coming back.
Oh yeah.
Now people are going to start seeing more profit. Who knew that one game could change the world?
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
bro, it's wild. It's wild to see this, but that's just the economy. That's just how it goes. Money does talk.
It's gonna bring like because I was gonna add on to that. For the locals, it's gonna blow up a lot. It's going to think what was I about to say? Yeah, locals is gonna be ridiculous. The thing is though, we CEO is going to be the first major tournament to have that game. That
Hmm.
So they wouldn't. They definitely know at the expectations that people are having. Oh man, I hope that I hope they be ready because that place is going to flood. It's going to be flooding.
The same month. Because he
Mm-hmm.
comes out, June 2nd, right?
Yep.
And June 2nd is probably like a Thursday or a Friday or something.
It's Friday. It's Friday.
Okay, it's a Friday.
Oh yeah, no,
So,
because everybody pre-ordered on everyone pre-ordered Street Fighter 6 already in our scene, and they already got the date marked. So I can, yeah.
just to think about how there's going to be frame one tournaments for it. Like they're good. Like so the game will come out on Friday. They're going to run tournaments for it Saturday, Sunday, especially online too.
No, they're gonna do a midnight. They're gonna do that midnight release tournament. You know,
I'm already talking with somebody. Like they wanted to try to wanted me to go for commentary, just a day one commentary for their tournament. So I'm like, bruh, the game just. I'm like, yo, give players time. Nah, bro, we gotta hit the ground running. We gotta work now. And I said, all right.
No, I told you, same thing with the people. We're gonna do this boot camps. We're gonna do this and this. Now people are be like, oh, well, we're gonna do this. Like as soon that game comes out, and as soon as you put like a flyer on the wall, it'll be like flies to yellow paper or yellow sticky paper. They're gonna go right into it. You're gonna people lined up in front of your door. Hey man, Street Fighter 6 tournament starts at 6. People line up at 12 p.m. 6 hours ahead. Just want to practice. Like it's gonna be that instant.
Oh yeah, gaming centers, gaming anything. All the LAN centers and stuff. They're gonna be packed with a lot of new players. And
yeah, it also too gonna be a market because oh my goodness, it happened again. Literally we had 2 more people asking about running tournaments in our scene, in comic book stores, car shops. So and they know that if something like Street Fighter 6 comes out, they're going to try to hop into that, turn to a market. They're going to try to turn into a thing for them. They're going to try to get people to run tournaments, try to hire them, try to get them, until they have attraction to have tournaments are there. Like it's going to be comic book shops, card shops, esports shops. It's going to be grocery stores. It's going to be warehouses.
Grocery stores, yo.
Exactly. Kroger's, Publix, Walmart. It'll be auto shops. Yo. Especially if they know that it's going to be $1 million. That if they're going to be it'll be $1 million for someone. They're going to try and find so many ways to run a tournament anywhere possible. I mean, the thing is, you can do it in someone's basement, in someone's garage, in someone's living room, which is normal for us. And you do arcades.
People, no, it wouldn't surprise me. Honestly, it wouldn't even surprise me at this point. I've competed in so many places that I didn't even think I would compete in. So it wouldn't surprise me if somebody wanted to hold a tournament in the electronics department or something of a Walmart or something like that. So
because I think they did.
Yeah,
I want to say at one point they do tournaments at least at Walmart. I don't know. I think.
I remember that for Smash.
Okay, yeah, for Smash, yeah. Well, I mean, still, it's Street Fighter 6, so you know that with that being out and how people are reacting to everything about it, and then the marketing, all these factors coming together, Walmart will be like, look, we're going to sponsor with Capcom. We're going to do a tournament here. This will be part of the qualifiers. What? I mean, I get everyday low prices and win some money at Walmart and Street Fighter. All right, bet.
Once you compete at a strip club and a church, the sky's the limit. At that point, nothing surprises you. Nothing. So
yeah, I mean, we may be laughing, but literally, if Publix or Kroger or Best Buy or like I said, college places is going to have that too. I mean, you have Georgia Tech, you have Kennesaw State, you have UGA, Middle Georgia State, Mercer. Like that's why what I said about what Street Fighter 6 is going to be, how they're portraying it. Like Capcom, the Capcom employees and the Capcom CEO, in their mind right now, I bet they're in the Breaking Bad episode of the man laying on top of the money, just laying there like it's a bed, because they know what they're doing. And you see every time they advertise stuff and they advertising the characters, who they catering to, the ideas for it. Right now, Capcom is like they live that they look like live that good life, like Kanye said, living the good life.
Hey, you got to. I think someone joined us, but I can't hear them though. I don't know.
I hear
I don't know,
laughing.
man. Hold on, I hear
Oh,
somebody.
yo,
I, I
my
hear somebody in
bad,
the
yo.
background. Yo. Who? What's going on?
It's Bates, man. You gotta forgive me. So, yo, I gotta call myself out. So, I remember what time y'all scheduled the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
but it's 11:30 over here in Arizona.
Oh,
Oh, body,
yeah.
body. Not like
Oh,
this, yo.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't think
on me,
about
man. I
that.
owe y'all one, and I apologize. That's on me. I owe y'all one. Yeah, I didn't think about it either. I'm
Oh,
gonna know. I should have planned. I should have planned on the time zones. Yeah, but yeah, my apologies, man. I see y'all 2 hours in. Damn,
No,
I'd have missed all the good shit.
no. We got
nah, that's all right, man. You just in time, man. We still could cook. It
yeah.
don't matter, yo. We'll be yo, Bates. Introduce
Okay.
yourself to the world, man.
Yeah.
Yo, talk to the people, man.
What's
Be
up,
right back.
y'all? It's BigBates, man. Traveling electrician in Arizona. Playing
This
fighting
man
games
is
for
an
10
asshole.
years. Yeah, Sam Show apologist. You know what I'm saying? Can't show up on time. You know how we do.
The
Dang.
classic, yo. Hold
Yeah,
on,
I
Bates.
was like,
You know what? You should have said, hey, can y'all still put me in the bracket?
yeah, can y'all still put me in the bracket? Look, man, I'll play from losers. I'll fight out from. I've done it. I fought from losers, made it to grand finals. I'll do it again. I do it.
It's happened before. It's happened before. Yo, we've been
Yeah, I
doing
have
this
done.
too long,
Yeah,
man. We've been doing this
yeah.
too
I was
long. We know
playing.
what time it is.
Funny enough, I was playing. What was I playing? Oh yeah, I was playing Sam Show, and I was playing Street Fighter Five, and I had missed. I was during my Street Fighter Five bracket. They didn't convey to me that my Sam Show's going on, and they put me in losers bracket. Then I just played through Sam Show. It was in Carolina, one of the Carolina tournaments.
Yeah.
Needless
So
to say, I
you
won that, but it's all good, you know.
so you said you played through. Hold on. You was in the Sam show and you played all the way from losers into grand finals from there,
Yeah, and I won. You know?
and you won.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, you know how
hey.
we. But it was
Look.
kind of my fault too, because like, it's a local. When you enter a bunch of different tournaments, some people don't have enough people to keep up with somebody entering like 3, 4 games like myself. So
Uh huh.
it comes with the territory. I don't get mad about it. It's like, okay, I fucked. I kind of made it hard on y'all anyway.
Uh huh.
Especially me knowing how to TO. Me being a TO, I know what it is. So I got you.
Oh yeah, man. We were just talking about how the scene is about to look when Street Fighter 6 drops off.
Mm-hmm.
When you came through, when you entered the building, and man, we was having a good time, man. But
Yeah.
Bates is here, so we're gonna have an even better time,
Yes,
man.
sir.
So Bates, man, I gotta get your thoughts, Bates. What's the future looking like, man?
Mm.
Look, let me tell you this, man. I've been grinding it out for 10, 11 years on hard fighting games. And these new fighting games coming out, I'm going to be, I'm coming in like a boss character. Coming in like a boss character because they making all these games very, what's a good way to put it, man? They're making it, I don't want to just say easy because that's low hanging fruit.
Mm.
They're making it less about the grind of improving to
Mm.
do your basic strategy and more about applying your strategies, right? So
Mm.
like Tekken 8 with this whole raid system, they don't really
Mhm.
care about you executing shit. They more so care about your timing, when you decide to do stuff, and your decision making, right?
Mm.
So, and that's how a lot of fighting games tend to be going nowadays. They want you to focus more on decision making
Mm.
and timing rather than can you do the thing? Like, this is the thing that people don't talk about fighting games. The reason there's like all this high execution shit and there's like
Mhm.
all this really difficult techniques that nobody knows is because all the easy stuff wasn't working in those games.
So because your easy stuff wasn't working, you got to get creative and you got to come up with some like crazy shit that nobody knows how to deal with. So that's why you get all these crazy like fuzzies or instant air tiger knee mix-ups and all this stuff because you have to get creative in order to make those characters work. But they're just taking all that out. Now what they're doing is they're giving you this is the character's game plan. Either you like it or you don't. That's it. Do you like this character's game plan? No. Okay, time to move on to the next one. So that's why I'm not really worried because I've been playing. I spent like years now trying different fighting games, trying different characters. Like the characters I played when I first started are nowhere near the kind of characters I play now, or the strats that I like to run, or nowhere near the strats that I used to like when I first started. So these games reward you for variety. Yeah. I mean, you've been there, Ace. You seen like. We've seen each other grow over the years. Like you playing Ed, I never would have thought you was gonna play Ed. That doesn't look like an Ace character, but man, your Ed is solid as fuck. You know what I mean? So it's like you grow as a player. And now with these new games coming out, they're less about execution. Because when we were playing, if you couldn't do like Ace plays Fuerte, right? If you can't do Run Stop Fierce, then you kind of like not unlocking the character. Or like if I play Balrog, a lot of people say, I want to play Balrog, but I can't do Headbutt and Ultra. If there's just people that won't play characters because they can't do certain stuff. But now with these new games, it's like they've unlocked. Yeah, all the stuff is unlocked. It's just like, are you smart enough to do it? That's my take on that.
I see the direction you're going in, and I'll add on to it.
Stay here
because you said if you can't in a first aid player you can't do Run Stop Fierce. How are you able to compete if you can't do Hit Button Ultra? How are you going to be able to compete with Balrog at a high level, right? So these are basic tools and kits. These are high level kits for the characters to make them to be able to compete at the high level. And if you don't have those particular types of things with those characters, you're not gonna do well. You're not gonna go too far. So with the newer games that are coming out, they're kind of like easing down those types of execution restrictions, and they're making it so these players can there's still a level of difficulty, but it's not as high. The ceiling isn't as high as it used to be. Right. So the execution isn't as strict as it used to be. And then that's what they did with Street Fighter V. Right. They like sort of lowered the execution barrier a bit. There's still combos that have to be done in a certain particular way in order for them to land, and you get your damage or whatever, but it's not as difficult versus the other games. Like the skilling is lower. And then now with 6 coming out, 6 they did a phenomenal, like we said before, they did a phenomenal job with the marketing. They got the modern controls, the easy, quote unquote easy mode controls. You know what I'm saying? My niece, my youngest niece, my youngest nephew, my little cousin or whatever, they can jump in and they can do a 5-hit combo by just tapping one button. So it's for them. It introduces a more casual based level. But if they want to compete at the higher levels, they're going to have to learn the more difficult types of combos. But at the same time, I think it's good that they have those type of controls in the game, because that's how players start. That's how people can get started on fighting games, especially if they had zero knowledge on how to play. Stuff like that is to be introduced. So when they did the Tekken 8 trailer, and they introduced that control scheme, that easy mode, is that the right word I'm using, Bates? Easy mode control scheme? What else? What would you call it?
I think what did they call it, man? You talking about the Tekken 8 stuff?
Yeah, when you press a button,
is it casual? Assist mode or simple? I think it's simple.
I think you press a button and it shows a bunch of moves.
Assist,
and it's just like a one button thing.
Because assist, because they did it in Tekken 7 as well. They add that a little bit later in Tekken 7. I remember that.
No, yeah, They did have it in Tekken 7, and actually, if you play through the story mode, they encourage you to use in the story mode.
The easy mode, but
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
that makes
but
sense
here's
for
the
the
thing.
story mode.
They didn't build Tekken 7 to let that mechanic function as you play. Like
Mhm.
you can still use it while you're playing, but it doesn't function very well.
Right.
I really think in Tekken 8 they want that mechanic. They built the combat system for it to like function with the simple mode. I think they want to go all all in on that. It's kind of a lot of times it's difficult to figure out what the intentions of the developers are. Like, I mean, it's actually rare for what they did at the Tekken World Tour, where they were like, "We want this game to be aggressive. We want y'all to be aggressive." Like, it's rare that you get a fighting game where they right straight up tell you, "Okay, this is what this is." A lot of times we get the fighting game, we play it, we unpack it. This starts out strong for a little bit, and then somebody laughs it out and realizes it's not strong, and then patching updates, right? But right off rip, Tekken 8, they're going, "We want this to be strong. Y'all are gonna be aggressive. Ain't no more backdashing 30 times for 30 seconds. Somebody gonna activate this rage mode, and somebody gonna get clipped. We putting in chip damage, and y'all better be sidestepping, because if you don't, he gonna be plus bajillion on all his shit. So you better be ready." They want shit like that, right? And as you like, if you really break down fighting games and you try to get your fundamentals right, you'll learn that the best defense is not blocking all the time. Best defense is when knowing when to check something, knowing when to backdash out of something, knowing when to jump out,
Basically
knowing
moving.
when you can. Yeah, anything but blocking. Like it's very I always like going back to where I think Dogi told me. He was like, if you walked into a room and somebody's fighting and you just see one guy with his hands up and the other guy just throwing all this shit, you just gonna say, "Damn, dude with his hands up getting his ass whooped. He's getting fucked up." Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, blocking shouldn't be your only defensive option. And not to say that I agree with how they're going about aggression in Tekken 8, because me personally, I'm new to Tekken comparatively to everybody else. So I have a huge advantage because I don't really care about what Tekken used to be or what it was. I just came into Tekken 7, tried to learn Tekken 7, tried to get some of the fundamentals down, and now Tekken 8 coming out, and it's looking more like a 2D fighter. It has 2D fighting game mechanics. It's got meters, it's got chip damage, it's got all this shit. I'm used to that. Shit, I play Happy Chaos. I managed 3 bars at all times.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care.
Yeah.
Tekken with, I don't know, Tekken with meter. That's
interesting.
I would have to ask somebody that's
It's
like,
just a game. Look at it. Don't look at it as okay. Check this out. Don't look at it as the next Tekken, which it is, but don't look at it like that. Look at it as Tekken 8, the game, and you'll see Tekken 8, the game wants you to do this. Tekken 8, the game wants you to do that. Don't worry about what it used to be, because that's the problem people have with Street Fighter 4 going to Street Fighter 5. When Capcom literally said Street Fighter 5 is just everything we didn't like about Street Fighter 4.
What?
Yeah. Well.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was the case.
Yeah, you gotta expand on that one.
Yeah, well, okay. Nobody liked option selects, so they took option selects out.
Yeah, that was.
Nobody liked 3-man jabs, so they took out jab links. Nobody liked them shit, so they took them shits out. Nobody liked one frame links, they took them shits out. Nobody liked focus attack, really, so they took it out. Stuff like that. Too many defensive mechanics. Nobody liked invincible backdash, they took that shit out. Just like stuff like that. Street Fighter 5, they basically made it everything that Street Fighter 4 was like they didn't like about Street Fighter 4, so they put it in they took it away in Street Fighter 5 scheme. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So why is there so much hate then? Why is there so much hate?
Hate for Tekken 8? I don't know.
Or Street Fighter 5.
On both sides.
People hated Street Fighter 5 because it was bad.
Get your soapbox. Hold on. We're gonna hand on the mic. We're gonna have base the mic real quick. Cause I know we don't have pain bot, but we got the next best thing in line. We got the next best thing here. This ain't pain bot.
True.
We can't say his trigger word and then he goes off into his rant. But we got the next best thing. BigBates.
Street Fighter 5 was
I'm
bad,
curious,
man.
I hear it.
Like Street Fighter, bro, dude, you can't tell me Street Fighter 6 don't look 30 times better than Street Fighter 5.
Oh, I mean,
it does absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know why
Oh,
Street Fighter 6 looked like Street Fighter 5? You know why Street Fighter 6 looked the way it do?
Why does it look like that, mate?
Because everything that's in Street Fighter 6 was not in Street Fighter 5. Think about it.
mhm.
They talking about game modes, mini games, character creation, character customization hubs,
Yeah.
new rank match system. They put $2 million on the next Capcom Pro Tour. They advertise them more. They didn't do none of that shit for Street Fighter 5. None of it.
Mm.
Why? It didn't work. It was bad.
Yeah.
It had no app, no content. It had no content.
Especially at
No
launch.
content. They had all the They had all the Chun-Li costumes you could ever hope.
It was more Chun-Li costumes than half the characters roster.
Yeah, man. Oh,
What?
yeah, you was Chun-Li play. You eating good. That man, Terrence. Shout out from the Terrence. Great.
Yeah. But I did want to bring it up about it with the Street Fighter, with the mechanics concept. Like Street Fighter 6, if you saw or if you had the beta and played, the features now of offense and defense, often obviously there's still more offense oriented, but it look at for those who don't know, and especially those in the chat, was Street Fighter 6. You have this mechanics of the drive system, which now separated from the super meter, and in the drive system you have your EX or you have your impact or your focus attack ish, or you have your reversal, you have parry, and you have dash cancel or drive rush. So, and the thing is, I'm not sure you guys noticed of anyone in general, and y'all probably do, but when for the defense mechanics, when you use them, it costs less than offense. And when you use offensive mechanics, obviously it costs a little bit more. But a lot of the times too is also what you get a lot rewarding from is punishing. When you punish someone, you get so much damage and so much out of it. Throws are nearly almost as Street Fighter 2 damage throws, because when you punish someone's impact or punish someone attack, whatever, your throw damage does so much. So it's more of that. They is trying to balance it more. Like, yeah, it's gonna be more offensive oriented, but so people can jump in, press buttons, to get a lot out of it. But the thing is now is like where they find a way to make it where if you want to be a little more defensive, you get a little like your stuff costs less. So they try to cater a little bit to the defensive people at the same time. So in Street Fighter 5, we didn't like that. All that stuff got nerfed, like you said. Like the V reversal got nerfed. You could punch V reversals easily. Even V shift, even though it helped slightly against certain situations, it got baited. It got easily punishable for whatever reason. So being offensive, pop the V trigger, you're good. You play boxer, ball, you play G, like I do. When you go offensive and you get the V trigger on top of that, man, that pretty much was the done deal. And for Street Fighter 6, and then with Tekken 8, so they pretty much took away a lot of that. I'm not sure it'll go to that same situation like with Street Fighter 5 when that defensive stuff is always gone, and I hope it doesn't. But I'm just speaking of the fact of how people are going to attract to this Street Fighter 6 and from Street Fighter 5 and mechanic wise. So like I said, to your point, I do believe that everything gonna be more offensive in general, because not only just the players but also for the viewership, because a lot of people will be watching this competition as much as playing it, and they just don't want to see someone sitting there for 5 hours running away or sitting there crouching blocking forever, because look.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Check this out, Retro. Check this out.
Mm-hmm.
They gave you all the mechanics at the start of the round. Why? Why they giving you all the mechanics at the start of the round? Because they want you to have all the options at the start. And they want your options to deplete based on the decisions you make and all right, man. You got to really think about how Capcom makes their fighting games. I got to give Capcom credit. They are willing to take risks and try something different every time. Like, you look at Tekken, they do the same thing every year. This is the first year they really doing something super different. Like, completely changing how you play Tekken. Capcom, they just changed the next Street Fighter is never anything like the other Street Fighter, right? And actually, I would argue the next Street Fighter is always everything the Street Fighter before it wasn't. So look at it like this, man. Their thought process is really not that hard. They were like, man, what did people not like about Street Fighter 5? Well, there was no content. Well, we're going to give them a bunch of random shit. They can do all these mini games. They can have their character in a jumpsuit, jumping around, playing basketball, throwing sonic booms, doing uppercuts in the lobby. We're going to give them all kind of shit. All right? And there's their content. And then what else? Oh, they didn't have enough game modes. They bitched at us because we didn't have a story mode. We're going to come out with a story mode that nobody really give a fuck about, but fuck it. We're going to come out with an in-game story mode that they're going to have to spend time on, and they're going to get the end plot, put themselves into the Street Fighter universe. Street Fighter 5 story mode was DLC.
Yeah.
So they're like, think about it, like, okay, what else did they not like? Well, they didn't like the gameplay. What didn't they like the gameplay? It was too comeback heavy. It was very comeback heavy. Well, fuck it. We're gonna make, if you look at Street Fighter 6 footage, you don't see that many comebacks.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
you won't see it.
There's not that many comebacks.
So
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because the other thing too, I'll add to that. Yeah, because with that meter situation, is that you can go offensive if you want to, as long as you know how to do it right. You will be heavily rewarded. Whereas in Street Fighter 5, like I said, you can get beat up as much as you want to. All you do is pop your V trigger, you're good. I mean, because you can get that comeback, whatever. And Street Fighter 6, the resources is a little bit different, where it's a balance, because then you tire yourself out if you use too much of your offense.
Right. There you go, Retro. Now you're getting it.
Oh yeah.
So in Street Fighter 5, you get beat up, you start getting powered up. Street Fighter 6, when you are getting beat up, you start losing, you start getting exhausted. Your character can't do as much.
Right.
When you're just always blocking it. So they're just doing the opposite of of how they been doing it, you know? They also are taking a risk on, like, frame shots, right? Nobody really likes watching Cammy do stand me and punch on repeat till the other guy hit a button. Right? That's kind of boring, right? So what did they do to Cammy? Cammy looks so different now. You know, they're just changing everything. You know? And our popular opinion, I think Zangief is stronger for not having Great Hand in Street Fighter 6. Our popular opinion.
Oh, but who needs that when you can dash cancel, you can parry, you can.
Well, a lot of people, yeah, there you go, Retro. Now you thinking,
don't
think about it.
Like,
don't think about it. Yeah, like people are thinking of, because I play so many different fighting games, I could just think about it like, oh, okay, this is what they want me to do in this game. But a lot of people are just thinking about it. Well, Zangief had a hard time with getting around fireballs and others, so he had Green Hand. Bro, Green Hand was trash in Street Fighter 4. The only reason Green Hand was good was because he can go into red focus and you could do a big ass combo. Other than that, for beating fireballs, you would just lariat through the fireball, or you would just jump it, and you get a bigger reward. The Green Hand is not a big deal. You got to look at what the game is.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6, they want you to work for that first hit. And then when you get that first, they want you, man, this Street Fighter 6, when you start a match, right, it's a story. They want y'all to fill each other out, see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? What's today? Today's Sunday. What you trying to do on Sunday? You trying to get breakfast? Oh no, he don't want to get breakfast. He want to go straight to dessert. He just jumped at me. Goddamn. See what I'm saying? Damn, we could have had a nice little pancake real quick. We could have just poked at each other, but you just jumped at the start. Look at this motherfucker crazy.
What the banana split?
Like this. Yeah, man, but you got to look at how each other playing in Street Fighter 6 versus in Street Fighter 5, where it's kind of like we just dancing around the fact that even though I'm beating you, you're going to get this V-trigger, and I got to bait it out, or I got to do whatever I can not to die from it.
Yeah.
And vice versa. When I get mine, you got to make sure you don't die from it. So when I look at Street Fighter 6, I just see a game where they really wanted, because another thing, what they say, man, well, people don't feel expressive when they play. We don't really. They get mad because they feel like they have to play the same way. Well, fuck it. I'm gonna give you every mechanic we've ever had in Street Fighter ever.
Man,
at the start.
yeah, but the thing is, man, you hate to be in the corner though.
That's every fighting game, though, brother.
Oh no, for this Street Fighter 6,
That's every
ooh, the fact. But the thing is,
I don't think. Well, Tekken 7 is the worst game to be on the wall. I don't care what nobody said. Being on the wall in Tekken 7 is the worst situation
Yeah.
in any fighting game
I
I can think of.
Yeah.
Next to Incoming Marvel 3. Incoming Marvel 3 and Tekken 7 being on the wall is the worst situation you'll ever be in any fighting game.
Well, which one is worse? Which one is worse?
Incoming Marvel 3 is worse. Incoming
Okay.
Marvel 3 is way worse. Yeah.
I
So,
would say
because I played those games, just because a guy can, like, guard break me against the wall, I don't care. You ever been double crossed up into an unblockable by Zero in Marvel 3? Trash. You ever had a fucking Brian in your face while you're back against the wall with rage?
yes,
It's like, unblockable you in the death. It's just like, being against the wall is just another moment in fighting game. At least you got a parry. At least you got a invincible reversal.
yeah,
That's another thing people don't talk about. Street Fighter 6, we got invincible reversal back.
and it costs less. So I said you get more reward to defense. I'm saying like in general, like being like from a lot of people who won't understand that. And we'll have to learn from it when they're gonna be cornered and then they get impacted. Thing is, even if they do block, it's like blocking in that game not gonna do help much for you because like now you have tools in addition to blocking that are gonna be many times better than it. Because if you block in the corner against like an impact, whatever, you actually will get it breaks your guard and then you get stunned or not stunned, but like splat.
You know what? I haven't even.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen it when I watched the matches.
I was going off of like viewing the footage and watching the trailers and stuff. I haven't actually physically played as of yet. I haven't. I mean, I know there's other means to obtain it, or other ways to play it right now, but I haven't done it yet. I said I was gonna wait until the full release comes out because I think that the full release is going to be different than what's going on right now. Some things are still going to be adjusted, but I think the core mechanics are still going to be the same. But I think the frame data is going to change a bit. The reason why I say that, between the versions of the betas, when the second one came out, it was kind of different because there was an execution change between like Gao and Chun on their target combos and stuff that's like different. They had some quality of life fixes and stuff like that. So I think when the final game, 3 months, 3 months is like that. I think we're gonna blink and then we're gonna be like 1 week away from the game. That's how fast time is moving right now. Cause hell, we're in 2023, and Bates, when was Bates? You're in the old niner.
3 months in. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Actually, technically, I'm not even an 09. I'm a 2012er.
Yeah, you're 12.
Wait, what?
You're 12.
Yeah, I'm not even an 09.
Okay.
So we 11 years up here. I'm 11 years.
God dang, that's still a long time.
It's been crazy.
Okay.
That's still a long time, right? Yeah. I'm not even on. I'm not even on 09er. I'm 11 years up. I'm 12er, bro.
Bro, but you still you one of the older players, yo. You sitting at the table with me and Retro.
Yeah.
Yo, have a seat, man.
Yeah. Man.
Have a seat right here, bro.
It's comfortable over here.
Yeah,
bro.
we comfortable over here, man.
I got all these battle scars and shit. I got
hundreds and hundreds of tournaments. Yeah, dang, that's just wild to think about. Like we going through 3 eras, man. We went through the 4, 5, and now we got to start on the 6. And I'm thinking, dang, this might be somebody's very first Street Fighter game that they're playing in 2023. Young cat.
Yeah, man.
Young cat, 20.
I can't
18
wait to see the Street Fighter 5. Yo, Ace, I can't wait to see the Street Fighter 5 players try to mentor the Street Fighter 6 players. I can't wait.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
I'm not saying like it was wrong. No. I'm not saying it's wrong.
Hold up.
I'm saying you're gonna see a whole different mindset in fighting games.
Right.
Like the way the Street Fighter 5 players see Street Fighter. Like, for example, right? Coming from Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 5, I can't mentor a Street Fighter 5 player. I tried. There was a lot of people who asked me for help in Street Fighter 5, and I did okay in Street Fighter V, but you know, my mindset wasn't the Street Fighter V. I never developed the Street Fighter V mindset. So I gave those players
you
like
play because you play Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5. That's basically how it
no,
sounds.
no. What I'm trying to say is you have to change mindsets between Street Fighters, right? So when you have a Street Fighter V player who has a Street Fighter V mindset, they're gonna look at Street Fighter 6 totally different than said Street Fighter 4 player, Street Fighter 5. So what I'm saying is I can't wait to see the veteran Street Fighter 5 players go against or mentor the Street Fighter 6 players. Yeah. Because it's going to be two play. Like the Street Fighter 5 players, they're going to be shimmy oriented. They're going to be meter oriented. They're going to be pressure oriented, right?
Right.
So when you get into 6, I don't think those fundamentals are clearly apply. They're called fundamentals because they apply to everything. But the values of those fundamentals are different. Just like me, Street Fighter 4. We had option selects, anti-airs, focus attack, backdash is an option. Those don't do shit for you in Street Fighter 5 like that. You know, you can go into Street Fighter 5 with all the execution you want, and you still gonna get clapped by Blanca and V-Trigger, and that character's not even good. So, you gotta, it's just gonna be interesting, man, because, you know, for me, I just want to watch the madness, man. I'm playing. I'm gonna be a part of it. I'll be in the middle of it.
Yep.
But I'm also a viewing monster, man. I just like watching fighting games. I can legitimately sit down for 8 hours and watch fighting games. That's fun for me. You know, it don't matter which one, for the most part. So
multitask.
I want to see.
Yeah, we'll see what. I mean, we'll definitely see what happens, man. That's you know, we got the young, especially, you know, for younger cats that are coming in, that the 18 the 21-year-olds. This is where their story starts. We were just talking about Ender Walker a bit earlier, how Ender Walker, you know, being an ed player, he started playing when he was 9 years old. This, you know, he played this game when it came out, but he was only 9. A 9-year-old kid. Now, I mean, he's still a kid, but he's like 16 and 17 now. So that's crazy to think about. And he's about to go on the 6. This kid's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Well, I mean, think about the other people, the other ones that was like that. What's his name, man? What's the Fei Long player? Young white Fei Long player from Florida. He was really young, man. I can't remember his name. Man. It's not
CJ Truth.
Yes, remember CJ Truth was really young. Right?
Yeah.
Like, he was like a solid Fei Long. And then, like, you look at him in Street Fighter 5, he was doing work in Street Fighter 5. You know, there's a lot of young. Knuckle Dude was really young, man. I remember playing Street Fighter 4 and talking to him, being like, damn, bro, you only like 13, 14 years old. I forgot how old he was.
Oh, yeah.
He was young.
And Punk.
When he was playing Street Fighter 4. Same thing with Punk. Them boys was young. But small, too.
Punk was going to be
young kids, but now they're middle, they getting up there now.
Dude.
Yeah, now they old, now they in their 20s, living life. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's going to be the new one. Yeah, Indian Walker. Even before those guys, it was Noah. I haven't seen Noah in years. That's going way back. I'm sure.
Yo, man, the Hawk player.
Noah the Prodigy.
They're using Raw H the whole time.
Yeah.
Good
Native
Lord.
Impact. Like, you know, it's this generation, man. It's really fun to watch. And like Ace said, we had the privilege of being from 4 to 5 to 6. You know, that's why I'm excited for 6. New storyline, new players, man.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, and then you got the League of Legends players coming in, right? So when League of Legends comes out with their fighting game, we're gonna have a whole another demographic of players from League of Legends that they won't get welcome to.
Yeah. But
it's a good time, man.
Yeah.
It's a good time to eat, man, for fighting games. It's a lot of games coming, you know, it's a lot of fighters out, right? So it's like you want to play this game, but you got to be focused on this game so you won't get, you know, you won't lose your skills in this game. So it's like, how do you even manage all of that, bro? Like, it's just a lot coming out.
Yeah.
A lot coming out, man.
And like I was Bates and I was saying, we were talking about earlier, well, also too, we're gonna have people who don't touch fighting games at all, and don't play fighting games. They're gonna play because, like I said, the fact that Capcom advertised the game at the wrestling event, and then one of the wrestlers is going to be a commentator in the game, and then they had Michael B. Jordan advertise it during SNL, and that's like a whole different audience. So,
Oh damn, I could be Jordan talking about
yeah,
it. Dang,
no, actually, yeah. So it was an episode of
I'm gonna
SNL.
go watch Creed 3 this weekend, so I can't wait. Yeah,
Yeah,
like that's dope.
yeah. It was on YouTube. It is on YouTube on SNL. They the segment where they joke around like voice acting for Ryu and Ken, and Michael B. Jordan tried to voice for Ryu in the episode. Yeah, just watch it, and yeah. But it's Street Fighter 6. Like, but the thing is, that audience who like saying Street Fighter 6 on the SNL skit, that's the last thing you ever expect that to be at of all places. You know, for advertisement. So you're gonna have even more people outside of fighting games, which we really want to hopefully potentially become part of the competitive scene. And it'll be crazy. You're like, hey, you come to a tournament and you meet up with somebody, and you talk about, hey, how you got to this game. You're like, man, I saw this game on when Michael B. Jordan did a skit episode on SNL, and you like, what? But yeah, it might work.
Also, that $1 million got people acting up too.
That's the one.
Let me ask you, Bates. What do you think about that $1 million?
Yes, sir.
I want to shout out. I want to shout out Resident Evil, Monster Hunter. What's another Capcom game that was killing it this past year? Thank you all. Thanks for everybody that donated those games. So us poverty Street Fighter players could get a $2 million pop bonus, because that's the only reason we getting that shit, bro. Capcom been killing the game in every other game.
Mm-hmm.
So we got that $2 million pop bonus, and honestly, they did say they wanted to push the esports side.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the backlash on Street Fighter 5 was so bad. It was like they didn't want to fully jump into it.
Mm-hmm.
But now that Street Fighter 6 is getting so much love, I haven't heard anybody say too much bad about it. Except the classic, it feels slow, or it doesn't look. They don't like how it looks. I mean, every Street Fighter is like that. Everybody goes, "Oh, well, I don't like the Street Fighter because it's like this."
Right.
But game's not out yet. We don't know how it's gonna fully play. Like Ace was saying earlier, they're gonna change the frame data. The $2 million means a lot, because the $2 million means that they care about making esports work. Me personally, I don't care about esports. I like my fighting games. I like my fighting game niche, and that's cool. But there are people that want to make this a profession. They want to make this a living, and I feel, that's a step in the right direction for them. What it does bring in, to me, is it brings in a lot of people who try to see this as an opportunity to make money, rather than a love for the game, a love for the community. So you're gonna get a lot of random people you never seen before who don't know anything about fighting games trying to really jump in and get in and some of this money. So I just say beware. I hope there's gonna be a lot of false sponsors. Like, how many sponsors have y'all seen over the years that don't really care about the players? They just kind of give them fucked up contracts and try to be represented.
That's gonna happen day one. Come on, man. You already know the shady business deals is already going on behind the scenes, and they're gonna be like, bro, this company's gonna throw a 5K, 10K pop bonus. Day one, Street Fighter 6 tournament. Come out to this event, this or that. They're gonna hit the ground running, man. But it's up to these companies to stay afloat during this time. Like, during that time, like. We've seen companies come and go. We've seen businesses come and go, groups, sponsorships, teams. We've seen all of that. We've been there. So this is just going to be another example of, should these companies make that move? Because if you throw everything at once into the pot, it's like cooking, Bates. Me and Bates, we discuss cooking sometimes. So when you cook, and you put too much into the pot, everything isn't gonna cook correctly.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? You either because you don't have enough water to cook everything, or you should have added less.
Sometimes things cook at higher temperatures, lower temperatures.
Correct.
You can't just throw everything in there.
Throw everything into the pot.
To cook at the same speed. You gotta let it simmer. Sometimes you gotta turn it down. Sometimes you gotta separate that food. Sometimes you gotta cook it in a different pot. There's a lot of delicacies involved in this thing. So with sponsors, with these sponsors and stuff, and like all this money coming into it. I wish I was in Atlanta still, so I could talk to some of our players who are really strong. We got a lot of strong players in Georgia, and they're not. We have been around for so long. We've seen the fucked up sponsors, the TOs that don't pay out, right, or the dangers of like a random local TO that don't know anything about the community, but they want to run a tournament that they know nothing about. We see that. We can recognize the problem with that, which is why I'm always so adamant on like make sure the true FGC TOs like we really communicate and really help each other out.
Yes.
And because what's gonna happen is you're gonna get a flurry of people who just want to make money off Capcom. Like Capcom might do something like, oh, okay, well, if you get 30 people at your tournament, then we'll give you a $100 pop bonus or something on your local tournament. And people want to take advantage of that, and they might not know anything about fighting games or how to run tournaments, and they'll just try to run one because they want to like get the attention at their local cafe or something, you know, internet cafe.
Exact promotion, promotion. If you can get customers in our store, we can, we'll give you 10%. We'll give them 10%, 15%, or whatever off of the store. But you just gotta get, we could let you use our venue and whatever. You can set up your equipment or whatever. But they gotta order something from the menu. They got to. We gotta have their business.
Yep.
We gotta shake each other's hands. That's how it's gonna work, man.
I mean, I can testify because I told Shadow Ace about it, but Bates, I literally had 2 more people that came to me to run tournaments at their card shop and game shop, comic book shop, and I'm sitting there, and the first thing in my head is like, are you sure you want to invest into it? But the thing is, last year I had 5 people that came to me to run tournaments, and I heard nothing back from any of them since then. And it's like they want to run their own stuff, they want to do this because they saw either what Capcom is doing, they saw the majors of our tournaments, they saw the local and other places doing well. They see that. So, like I said, now the fact this $1 million, this $2 million announcement, because it's gonna be like, it's crazy in the sense you don't think about it, but it has happened for a while. Running tournaments is like a market now. It's basically like a market. Everyone, it's an industry business. It's a way that people might think, unfortunately, will be leading to profiting and making money. As TOs who don't make money and don't drive Lamborghinis, as a reminder, because there's some people out there that believe that TOs make money of it.
They just think I'm eating. They think I'm eating steak dinners every night. I'm just chilling.
Like,
what are y'all gonna do with all that money y'all making, bro? I'm negative, man. I make more money winning tournaments than I do running tournaments. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
you know.
I don't. You mean to tell me TOs don't get paid? Wait, is that what y'all? That's what we saying?
I'm not. I ain't trying.
I'm not saying all TOs don't get paid. I didn't say all TOs don't get paid.
I know. I'm
just saying your local TO don't get paid like that. I don't want to sit here and act like there's not money to be made, but at the same token, the fucking sacrifice and pain and suffering just to get to the point where you can sustain and just come out even is so crazy that, like, even if you are making money off of it, it's almost like, damn, man, I had to give up my arm and my leg. You kind of limping around the venue. So, I mean, even look, check this out. I'll never forget when I went to CEO. I was watching DeBailey in a wheelchair, riding around trying to run the tournament because he was hurt. You know what I'm saying? Not to say it was a result of the tournament, but it's like, it be happening while in the middle of organizing this shit, and then nobody gives a fuck. I shouldn't say nobody gives a fuck. It's not
right.
Cookies and cream, man. There's a lot of suffering involved, and by the time you get through all that, you're like, damn, about time. Shit, it took me about 20 years to get here, but shit, at least I can. And you know what I mean? It's hard,
man. Bates, if you were here or manage to tune in, or if you can, check on the last episode before the 3.5 when Calm Warrior showed up. That man preached, and
that was the good gospel.
he had me to testify
Okay.
because we talked about financial literacy, TOs not getting paid, do something to appreciate TOs, all that stuff. But because the thing is though, like what contributes to what we're talking about now, which is still money involved, because with this $1 million stuff going on, what's going to happen? Everyone trying to invest into ways to run tournaments for it as a way to say, hey, we're running a tournament at Walmart, at Publix, in the garages, at my grandma's attic, at the funerals, at weddings for the Street Fighter 6, because I want to train good enough so I can win that $1 million, because that's going to be one of the big motivations. But at the cost of it, it's going to be where the TOs are going to try to get contacted to run this events and all that stuff. And the thing is, ultimately, like I said, it's not going to be much the investment won't be much worth it, because the thing is, the players going to go in and just play the game. And that's it. That's what men going to do, and they're trying to make their money. Excuse me. The people who are trying to invest in, like, even esports teams, local businesses like the cafe, comic book shop, whatnot, when they try to put money in towards it and so forth, and the players don't buy their stuff, like the T-shirts or the comic books or cards, in addition to the tournament, they're gonna be like, well, dang, we won the Street Fighter 6 tournament and we had 30 people showed up and nobody
bought a comic book.
There you go.
Nobody bought a cup of water or something.
Right. Yep. Cup of water. Cup of water.
You running the tournament no more. Y'all not bringing no business to us.
But that literally happened.
I just I'm 30 now, and I feel like I gotta get these messages out, man. It feels important, man. If you are involved with anything community oriented, which is what fighting games are, very community oriented, where you're literally meeting up in a public setting and interacting with each other. That's like, our actions reflect. You may not think it I don't think a lot of people believe that their actions reflect on the rest of the community, but it does. If you show up, if I'm running a session at Battle and Brew and we have 15 people there and y'all all get food and only 3 people tip, it reflects on all of us. You see what I'm saying? It shows. It makes all of us look bad. And even though that may be unjust, that's just how the world works. We're looked at as a community. We're seen as a community, and we're judged as a community. Just like all the not to bring back some negative stuff, but all that shit was coming out about EVO and about the Smash community and all that stuff. Nobody really cared that it was just the Smash community or it was just the EVO staff or whatever.
Right.
They saw it was our community that looked like that. They were saying, man, the fighting game community is weird. You see what I'm saying? Oh, man, the fighting game community smells bad. Oh, man, the fighting game community is like, they don't really care about, and we all do it too. Like, if I see some fucked up shit coming, like, Rainbow Six accounts are getting hacked for skins and shit. You're just gonna say, oh, well, like, the PC community be hacking each other. You don't really care about who's doing it or, like, what the context of it doing. You're just gonna see it as a community. So we have to really make it a point to let people know you don't just represent whatever character you like to play, whatever fighting game you like to play. When you're in a public setting, you represent everybody. And that is hard to teach when there's no like real structure. Like there's no real structure in the FGC to teach that kind of principle of like we represent each other and we have to.
It's common sense and common decency.
Correct.
No. Common sense.
Okay. All right,
in 2023. In 2023, common sense ain't so common, brother. I hate to let you know that, but welcome. This the new update. Common sense is a fucking gift. You see somebody with common sense, you better appreciate that person. Because it is not so common no more. In my opinion, I have not. There's a lot of things that I would assume common sense like you do, but it's just not because I'm not trying to go too deep into this, but the way people are raised nowadays, the financial system, the financial situation that people are brought up in, and the kind of environment they're brought up in has changed completely from our generation and the previous generation. So it's just a different way of living. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to unpack. I'm not trying to turn this into a whole different kind of podcast. There's a lot to unpack, and why people represent themselves the way they do or do the things they do. And I like what you were saying, financial literacy. I think that's something that we really need to start talking about in the FGC. Like, we really, we want more money.
Con Warrior, where are you?
Yeah, we want more money in the FGC, but we don't know how to actually make money or deal with money ourselves, right? Like, I got to give props to Menard. Something I like about Menard is, like, when he made all that money at Capcom Cup, he actually went back to his local and he contributed financially with shit. Like, he's very smart. I think he bought a facility.
Oh yeah.
Didn't he buy a facility and he started doing like classes and shit?
Mm-hmm. He contributes. He does a lot. He does a lot for his country.
He does.
Yeah, man. So that is an example of like somebody who made a bunch of money off fighting games. They took it and they put it back into the community, and the community now will appreciate that and see, well, I can't just be out here winning a bunch of shit and not giving anything back. I just can't be out here going to an event, and I can't be out here going to an event and not buying anything when I know the TO really negotiated real hard to get this venue and making them look bad. It's like you appreciate it more when you see stuff like that. You won't accept that kind of like you won't accept that behavior, or you wouldn't want to be a part of that behavior when you see that somebody else in your community is contributing like that and don't have to. So it's the way we spend our money, like you hear about stuff like Sonic Fox bought his mom a house, right?
Yes.
Okay, but what else did he do for the community? And that's fucked up for me to say. So check this out. That's fucked up for me to say because I'm sure that Sonic Fox is in a bunch of different circles where he talks to players, he coaches players, he makes them better, right? But financially, you had a lot of excess money you could put back into it. Why doesn't Sonic Fox have his own tournament? Why doesn't Sonic Fox have his own program? And I'm asking a lot. He don't have to do these things. He really don't. And I'm not expecting him to do these things. But it's little stuff like that it really sets the tone for the rest of us in the community where it goes, okay, well, a lot of top players, when they do well, they give back. Or a lot of top players, when they do well, they teach or something, Right now, it's just kind of like...
Everybody's not going to have that mindset. They're not going to be that way, I'm
not asking. Okay,
people
check this out.
Seem selfish.
Check this out. I'm not asking a lot of people to be that way, but what I am asking is you make a conscious effort to contribute to the community. Don't win a tournament.
Everybody is not going to be that way. That sounds good. That sounds good as a paper, and I'll throw this curveball at you too, as well. I mean, if you're a business owner, right? Say you own a company, and we'll use Retro's example because Retro was talking about the comic shop. The comic shop looking to do tournaments and stuff, right? Or you agree, you guys negotiate, you talk about setting up a tournament. The tournament comes or whatever, you set up your equipment, this, that, and the third, do your pleasantries, your meet and greets or whatever. And you get a lot of people to come in. I mean, it's like the shop is packed.
Mm-hmm.
The shop is packed. 50 players or whatever coming in to play a game. Then you got the shop regulars and the customers and stuff like that. This big event going down, right? So as a business owner, you're expecting, oh man, we're gonna bring in a lot of money today because I know if these guys are playing video games, more than likely they're gonna be they read somebody or some of them might read comics. Some of them might read comics, so we can get a good profit today. So while people are waiting around for matches, they can check out comics or whatever, or they might buy some sodas or drinks or some kind of snacks or something. Then at the end of the tournament, it's all said and done, everything's packed up. You ask them what do they think about the event, and they tell you, well, only 3 people bought a drink.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting more. You know, we didn't turn a profit like we thought we was gonna do. Do you think they're gonna do it again? Do you think they want to run the event again?
Mm-hmm.
Bates?
No, not at
That's you.
all. But here's the
That's you.
thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we should. I'm not saying we should cater to business owners
Right. Right.
some more, or like. I don't think we need to cater. I just want to set a tone in FGC that, um,
Uh-huh.
like for example, right? We
Uh.
have a culture. Like it's all about culture. So
Mm-hmm.
we have a culture of if somebody spreads misinformation, we hammer you.
Mm-hmm.
If you like, you could go to any FGC event. Let somebody tell you something wrong about some frame data, or let somebody tell you something
Oh
wrong,
Lord.
or say something wrong about what like a matchup or something. People will happily jump in and be like, "That's bullshit. This like this. You can't do this because this character's like this, right?"
Mm-hmm.
There's
Mm.
effort being put, right? What I'm trying to get is we need to put forth an effort to actually like contribute. So like, don't be the guy. Like we got to make it bad to be the guy who you won an online tournament, you went on Twitter, you bragged about it, and that's all you did.
Right. I
You know what I'm saying?
um. I'm probably like going off with a little bit of what Charlie was saying, and it's kind of funny. The more I keep thinking about it, and I keep telling people about it, and I think I'm not sure it's a testament to why people keep having me to run tournaments in our area, but a lot of people don't comprehend, don't understand, and they don't. Not don't. I don't want to tell them why, but a lot of people don't understand why Reboot itself is still standing and why we still running the Reboot there to this day. Because honestly, is where we set ourselves in a situation. It's not to brag about our scene, but is where the reason why Reboot and the venue, even the venue itself, is still standing, and we're still running tournaments and stuff, despite the fact that actually we don't really bring in much revenue to them, to their venue. We don't bring in much, like mainly to that. But it has grown a bit. No, especially if players out of town come through, they'll like the fact that they drink and have fun, which then adds more revenue to it. But the fact about it, for years since we started out, half our players wouldn't buy drinks and would not do anything to contribute to the money. And Reboot was like, running tournaments. I'm not sure what it is, and I probably may have forgotten, or now I'm trying to think about it. That what I have done is that how I tame culture, how have the culture to learn how to respect the venue, the hosts of the venues, to where the host is actually letting us. We actually get priority over other types of events when it comes to running events overall in a month. Like general manager is like, well, when you guys will do your tournaments first. I want to make sure before anybody else gets this. When you guys want to do this and do that. Like we actually have priority. In that respect, the priority sets where, cause I actually told the manager, I told the owner of the place, I'm like, hey, I know we don't bring you guys that much money to you guys, and y'all guys kept letting us run tournaments here for years. Because the thing is, if we're gone, that business can keep going. And some reason, in the sense, we structured it where if that business is gone, we can keep functioning. And and I realized that the owner's like, y'all guys been treating people better than any other type of audience and group in our entire downtown. Because when it comes to this type of group for trivia, the whatever, we had to deal with them. They get on my nerves. These audience get on blah blah blah. The fighting, they always said that the fighting community has done so much in treating the venue with somewhat respect that they gave us the ability to utilize it however we want. Even if we even do a spontaneous event for tournaments, and they're like, and we know that, and they know that, like, it'd be like 6 or 10 or 6 or 10 of us. It would be a few of us just to get together, use the lawn, to use that whole big old area for ourselves. They don't mind, and they understand we don't, may not buy drinks or whatever, which is their biggest revenue. But the fact that we learn to respect how they operate and respect their space so much, they let us be able to utilize it and how it can function. And I think that's the
And
point.
that,
Right, go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, and that's the point. I think that's the idea that I wanted to focus for our community is that, yeah, we can get rowdy, we can talk shit, we can do money matches, we can do all the other stuff. That's in the game. When the outside of it and deals with businesses and local people and so forth, you're going to learn how to respect them. You learn how to treat them through the business. And, I used to feel bad because I used to worry about our scene dying out, or we're not going to get tournaments as much anymore, or we're going to get overwritten by somebody else because, we didn't offer money much, money wise to the business and get a revenue. However, it got lately and over the years, the owner had admitted that, we brought so much attraction, way more than any other company. And this is not even on local news, without any other big advertisements. And we need to do better with that. But it turned to where we brought so much attraction and how we behave, and then the general community outside of it, they enjoyed us and they really love us. And it's like they ask about and bars. That's why we got so much other bars and local venues been wanting us to run events there because they like how we conduct ourselves versus
And that's
money.
important. And that's very important because that's like we circle back on to respect for being at the venue. If you act like if you act decent, then to its place, you respect this place. You're in good company, you're in good graces with them. But if you're leaving trash on the, you leaving trash around, you spilled a drink and you just left it there, and one of the staff sees it or the manager sees it, and nobody made an effort to clean it up, and it just sitting there and soaking. I've seen that before. I've seen someone kick a drink over and just kept walking. Just kept walking. And it was a red.
Bruh.
I remember because it was a red soda on a marble ground, and if you didn't get it up, it would stain. The red is going to be
Ooh, yeah,
stained to the
that was
ground.
saying.
Yeah, that's going to stain. So I was like, yo, somebody, get this up, right? So I ended up getting a mop. I went to get a mop and I got it up, but it kind of stained a little bit. And I was looking at the guy, and the guy just like he just kind of like he had a little tired expression on his face, and I could feel him. But man, that's just if you, especially with the equipment, if you got to, if you're using the venue's equipment and stuff to run the tournament and you're mistreating it, they're not gonna want you back. You're not. That's not. They're definitely not gonna want you back. And I'm gonna circle back on before I let you get back into it. Retro Warren is saying he said a bit earlier. He said that's not the TO's job. That's the vendor's job. And he said I hate to sound heartless. The only thing I will say to address in regards to that, it's a cooperation. I think it's a cooperation, Warden, where if a vendor wants to be able to at least try to sell their product to the place to help, because depending on the relationship y'all two have, like sometimes they may let you rent the space for a reduced price, or it may be free. It just depends on what you guys negotiate on that. But they're hoping at the same time that they can at least try to sell some of their product to the clientele. And again, you don't have to buy anything, but at the same time, I think it would be like a sign of gratitude. It would be a really good sign to do so, because that gives the vendor owner the impression, oh, okay, maybe we'll keep running these events here at this venue. We got some customers buying, we got people buying things, so that's going to help us out. So yeah, I think that's more of a partnership type of thing, but that's just
Can I say something
how I
about
feel.
that?
Go ahead.
A couple things on that. The vendors, a lot of times, are very unrealistic on what they expect. from. Because here's the thing:
They don't
a lot
know.
of business owners are not good business owners. And what I mean by that is they don't do the research and they don't know the demographic they're trying to sell their stuff to, and they don't understand. Also, the players don't have to buy shit when they show up. They really don't. Like
They don't.
Nobody on the tournament description says when a player shows up, he needs to buy a drink. The thing is, you don't have to do nothing. You could show up to the tournament, lose, and go home. Don't talk to nobody. Show up to the tournament. Yeah, I'm here. Report to your match. Lose and go home. What I'm trying to make is, don't just do that. Do more. Like, be a part of the community. Is what I'm saying. If you lose and you go 0-2 and you just go home, you gain nothing from that tournament. If you go 0-2, talk to somebody. Get advice.
They don't.
Don't make sure you clean up behind yourself. You know, sometimes eat. You know what I'm saying? Like anything. You know, just interact. A lot of people come in, they act like it's another room in their house. It's not your house. You're in somebody else's house. You got to know how to and this is what I mean by, like, a lot of these things are not taught to people anymore. Like kids, like a younger generation are not taught that when you go to a restaurant, they expect you to buy something. They expect you to tip. A lot of people, it's starting to become very apparent to me that that's not very well taught anymore, to be honest. You know, don't dirty up somebody's venue. Don't treat it like shit. These are not, people just go to things like it's like they place and they treat it like they place. It's not your place. When people are hosting, these are humans hosting this stuff. You know, help out or any kind of way. Just contribute any kind of way. Don't go there and act like it's just something there for you and then you pay for it. You paid your $10, so everything got to go your way, and then you could just leave and not contribute somewhere. We got to change that. Now, I'm like once again, I don't need you to buy something. I need you to be respectful and not make us look bad. Because that's really what we're saying. Don't make us look bad. That's it. At the end of the day, don't make us look bad. That's really what it is. And it'll grow. It'll become something better. And if you just, and you'll want to do, that's why it'll piss you off more when there is somebody show up, they throw their trash on the floor and don't do nothing. There's somebody show up, they want to complain about the venue fee or whatever. You know, it'll bother you more when you see stuff like that because you contributed, you did your part, and you see other people doing your part. Right. It's a culture thing. It's a culture thing, man.
And also, I would say this too. Well, I mean, I was listening a little bit. I had to step out for a second, but I did try to have it loud enough I could hear. For this upcoming event that's in less than 2 weeks, and this probably a testament to me, I actually was constantly on my esports team and the fighting community. I was constantly on them like, hey, on one side I was like, hey, you guys can communicate this, advertise this, and this. Got the sponsor, we got this, and this. And how soon can we have this? Do we have this event? And then FTC people would be like, well, I wonder how much is it going to cost, blah, 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 blah. This hotel, okay. Well, you pay attention to the hotel. Here are the details, this, and this, and this. Y'all guys need to come, Here's Matcherino. Y'all guys want to have more money in this, blah, blah, blah. And I was on them. I was on both parties. Because, like I said, you know, it still contributes to where money will matter because obviously the fighting community wants to make money entering and winning these tournaments. The esports people are going to want to make money and profiting all these people to come out for these tournaments. And but then it's like, that's fine. That's that ultimately you guys want to do. But you need to look at the steps that need to be taken, which includes common sense, like as was spoken earlier. That includes conducting yourself in a professional manner. That includes, respecting the venue. That includes reading instructions. That includes understanding, comprehending. It includes networking. That includes a lot of other things. And as a TO, and yes, of course, you deal with the people that you have to work with to, like the venue executive director, or whoever, the vendor, or whoever, to put it together. But then also TO, especially for who you represent, you're the leader, so you have to act. You have to step in and be that leader to learn to run by the respect, run by the respect, and then you have to address to your own community to learn how to respect and learn how to conduct themselves and learn how to do whatever. Because if they want that money to do so, and so forth, there's a way. Then if you're working with the esports people and their leaders, then you have to talk to them and say, hey, well, you understand that this is what you got to do for whatever. This is how you got to plan this. This is what you got to expect. Hey, I like this. I understand your decision, but I'd rather you have this decision instead. Blah blah blah. And hey, you need to communicate. Blah blah blah. Because the thing is, not to. It does suck that you ultimately do as a tournament organizer and everything end up falling on you. But while you are in that position, you have to set that example of respect and conducting it. And a lot of people, and if you had to put your foot down on it, because then, even people don't like you for doing so, they'll leave the community, and that's fine. But for those who sees you putting your foot down and learning to say, hey, this is how you respect doing this, is how you do this, and there'll be people like, you know what, dang, I need to go to more of these people tournaments because he putting his foot down and then he got them out. Like, you have to go on step on people's toes. You have to step on the community's toes and much the esport toes.
Gotta be the bad guy. So, well, it's not really the bad guy, but
assertive.
You just gotta be exactly. You gotta, because you're dealing with the public. You're dealing with people. Either you've seen in the scene for a while, or you've never met them before. You don't know what they're going to do when they're in the venue. When they lose a certain match, you don't know what their reaction is going to be. They could toss something or throw something or act wild, act buck wild, and it's up to it's up to the TO to be like, hey, you got to observe this person, or somebody might feel threatened by the person, and they might be like, hey man, I don't think it's safe or something like that. They might report it, right? But as a TO, you got to make these executive decisions on what's best for business, and a lot of the times it is making those executive decisions to let a player go. A player can't come to your event because of certain behaviors or things like that, and that that can sort of spiral out of control into something else. And I could go down a rabbit hole on that one.
Right.
I'll keep it top side here, and I'll just say that just basically just being respectful to the venue.
And because the thing about it, you never know if one of those sponsors, one of those vendors who happen to be there, or someone who may not be the official sponsor, whatever, or may someone work for Coca-Cola or Pepsi, and they are they're not sponsoring really, but they attend the event just to see what's going on, and they see you conducting yourself in a manner and going up to you going to them, the people, addressing the issues that the community has, addressing the esports issues the esports people have and whatnot, and then they were like, hey man, so you got to run this event, right? And I see it how you kind of keep it together, see how you whatever. Well, why don't we offer you a position or idea, and we can throw in some money or whatever, Then you see, that's where the opportunity for more money to be, be presented in the scene, and it be in a better way. And of course, like I said, of course, you go through that process of what you expect from the community, what you expect from the esports, running an event. But then it could be in a way, it'd be in the direction towards, hey, TOs can definitely get paid for doing this. It won't be that struggle anymore. We can afford eventually the Lamborghinis or the Tesla at some point, and the players can come in. They can enter the tournament. They can win a good couple $100 or $1,000. I don't know. It may turn to a company that may end up offering, maybe like Capcom a millionaire. I don't know, but that's like I said. It starts out, where you are, and I think, and now I think Com Warrior's words have come to my head, as well as what BigBates was saying, and also you were saying, Shadow, is that I think we actually are in that age that we actually can afford to make money doing well in the fighting game community. Is that we're not utilizing the tools and resources, and instead we keep rejecting and we keep rejecting. And we're unfortunately in the environment and the ways that we're taught. We shut down everything else and we just focus and narrow minded onto one thing. We want the money, and then it's like, well, what do we do with it? How do you utilize it, and all the other type of stuff. Because Capcom throwing that $1 million, but that's great and all, and you know that not everyone's going to win it. But in the process, everyone trying to find ways to invest to get to the point where they can have people to play tournaments, so they can eventually get to that money and stuff. And they try to keep the scene going as a result of it. But if they don't understand the culture, they don't understand the fellowship, they don't understand the community, they don't understand anything else about it, you're going to see those failures. You're going to see that one and dones. You're going to see that, diaspora between, within the communities, outside of the communities, whatever, within the local business, outside of local businesses, within corporations, outside of corporations. We'll keep living in that, that limbo. So until we get to comprehension and get to make common sense common again, we're going to keep being this same cycle.
And I'll add on to this before I throw it over to Bates.
Go ahead.
I feel that we could definitely I think we could definitely reach a wider audience of players and people, and far as teaching and growing and networking. When I say this, is that every scene, every tournament scene, almost every state has a player that's really strong at playing the game, and they have a large following. They have so Twitch, of course. Twitch is one of the main platforms now. So they have a large following. When they stream, they're getting their 50 to 200 viewers, or 200 to 500 viewers or whatever per stream, right? But they might not be that involved in their own local scene. They might not attend locals like that, and they might not communicate that well with their offline scene. But the fact that they can potentially network to help promote growth is just something I just never really understood. And I don't want to say they're being selfish, but I will say that I feel like they could be utilizing their resources a bit better, to reach out and get more people active and involved in the game, especially in their local scene. So I'll give you an example. So say for example, I stream Street Fighter V like daily, right? I'm constantly playing. I'm online all the time. I'm engaging and talking with the viewers and stuff like that, and I'm getting a good 200, 400 something viewers or whatever per stream. So I have a target. I have an audience that comes in, the regulars or whatever. And I talk to them about the game and stuff, about learning the game, and about you should support the game and stuff like this. But I don't mention nothing about my locals, about where I play at locally, right? Like I'm not networking towards my locals. I don't say nothing about that. And I see that when I watch, certain people stream, is that I don't see them talk about their locals and stuff like that. It's always towards the game or what other players are doing. And the fact that there's locals, like really good locals in their backyard, and that they don't support them, I just never understood that. And Bates, I need help understanding that. I don't like what. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't get it, Bates. I don't get it.
I don't know, man. Maybe they just think it's not worth it. Look, I'm not a social media guy, so it's gonna sound hypocritical for me to be like, "Hey, you should be shouting out your local every chance you get." But I will say, it is strange to me that you'll go to one local or like one tournament and be like, "Hey, man, just got top 20. I just got top 24," and you'll post it up, right? but you'll win your local and then never mention it ever, right?
Mhm.
Or like your local will post up the results and you don't even want to bother to retweet it or like it, especially if you got a big following. Like people just do that on simple shit. Like even if somebody goes 0-2 or they'll go 2-2, they'll be like, dang, I went 2-2, I should have did better. They'll post it up on their Twitter about the tournament. But for some reason in local, you got 1-2 at your local, you don't want to post shit about that. Or a 2-2, you don't want to post nothing about your local unless you either won it or you had there was some kind of benefit to posting it.
It was a pop
So
bonus.
pop bonus or something, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got people that only come out for pop bonus. You haven't seen them in years, and then they want to come out for the pop bonus, which I get. It's you know what I really think? Not listening to y'all. I think people don't know how to contribute, or they don't see the value in the minor contributions that we're talking about, and they don't know how far it goes. Any little contribution mentioned, or like even how you talk to other players. Like let's say you're in like 40 different Discords, and your training partner is from somebody you play from your local, and they keep beating your ass. You go to those Discords and say, "Hey, man," and you know that matchup very well because he's beating your ass, and you go help somebody with that matchup, but you don't mention the player who taught you that matchup. That is detrimental. Like little stuff like it's little things like that, or like because you never know who that could reach. Like let's say you help a top player with a matchup, or you give them advice that you learn from a local player in your scene who plays that character, and that helps carry that top player through that matchup. Well, if you never mention that player who taught you that, you're just going to end up taking all the credit for it. And that's not fair to the guy who basically paid you at your local and helped you out,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like little stuff like that I don't think people truly understand the value of, And I don't think it's hard to teach that, because if you're coming in from online and you're not like, you don't have a social bone in your body, or you're not very active in like public settings anyway, then I can see how that would be difficult for you to understand. Like sometimes it almost feels like it's unfair for me to say what I'm saying because I don't post on social media a lot. But if I could get a message out, any piece of advice, any reference that you use, or anything you learn from your local, shout the person out who you learned it from, because you never know, that could network into other players. Like networking is important. Networking is important. Financial literacy is important, like we were talking about earlier. If you're struggling to pay for a $10 venue fee, then I don't want you to come to a tournament and be at a detriment for the $10 venue fee. Like a lot of these guys think if a TO raised their venue fee, they're mad at you for not coming. If you can't afford it, don't come. I don't want you to, if $10 is gonna break you, I don't want you to show up and be broke. I think there's a disconnect where it's like when we say, buy something at the venue. If you can't show up to the venue, it's kind of like if you're taking a chick out on a date, right? If you're taking a chick out on a date, you got your coupons and everything, you could barely pay for the date. Why are you doing it? Why are you taking out? You can barely pay for it. Wait till you could get the funds ready and then go. So right now it may not be for you, but later on it will be. And if you need help, ask for help. Hey man, I can't. You know how many times I've had players come up to me, man, I want to enter, but I ain't got the money for it. This
Ooh,
time.
I could testify
I'll
too.
pay for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
I'll be
that's
like,
a
I'll
classic.
buy you into the tournament. I'll buy you into the tournament. I'm like, which one you want to play? I've done that so many times where,
Yeah.
you can't play because you ain't got no. I'll pay for the tournament.
Man,
I'll pay.
you saying
Let somebody know.
you're saying the exact
I'd rather
same.
you be in the tournament.
You're saying the exact same thing. Con Warrior just said last episode too. He literally said that to us. He literally.
But you say it was
It's
rather
simple.
for you to have a good time, or at least like try to enjoy yourself instead of
Yeah, like if you
watching.
can't afford the venue fee, I'm not gonna look at you and be like, "Hey man, get the fuck out of here, bro. You can't afford $10."
Right.
No, but I feel like that's what people think TOs are saying when we raise the venue fee, or if we're saying you have to buy something. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you get yourself straight, and if you need help, ask for help. I want it, like a lot of people want to go to CEO. I was talking to a kid the other day. He said he want to go CEO. I was like, cool, man. Why can't you go? I can't afford it. I was like, well, what's the problem? Well, I don't know how to get down there, and then I'm gonna have to pay for a hotel. I was like, well, you can't bunk up with somebody. Yeah, but I just don't know who to ask. You talking to me, ain't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but okay, I'll help you figure it out, man.
Yeah.
You need a ride down there? Shit, I'll figure out who's we'll figure out who's riding down there, and we'll get you a ride down there. And I'm all the way out here in Arizona. I have no stake in the game, but I would be more than happy to help network you to people who are gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Closed mouths
and
don't get fed.
yeah, closed mouths don't get fed. And a lot of these guys, man, they either have too much pride to ask, or they are not socially attuned to know how to ask.
I
But
think that's
man,
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you though, it's like I said, I keep going back to community. It's community.
Mm-hmm.
These are not problems that can't be solved. I really want to hit home with that. These are all problems we can solve. You just have to make it known, you know, instead of bitching about how you don't like how a certain TO runs his shit, or you don't like certain things, you know, go to the TO and tell them, hey man, why are you running it like this?
Tell me. Thank you.
Don't go on
Talk,
Twitter
yo.
and bitch about it.
Well,
You were literally there in person next to me the whole time. We were
Didn't
having a
say
whole
a word.
conversation, having a good time.
Yeah.
And then when the event's over, you go on Twitter and you bitch about how you don't like what I did at the tournament. You were next to me the whole time.
Shady.
You could have just told me.
Oh no. So here's the thing. What I do, and everyone in my community know I do. I'm gonna go to you anyway, and like I'm gonna ask you, hey, in a nice way, like, hey, let us know what you have problems with the community in the tournament and stuff. We try to run the best way we can. There's way, because we're always trying to improve. I'll go to you. I'll confront you myself. I'll be in your face. Hey, can you let me know what you didn't like about this, and this?
That's crazy.
Because it don't say anything, then then I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna take it as it is. I'm gonna keep on going. But then it definitely drives me off when people then turn around like, man, I don't like how Retro were in this tournament. It was so stupid. It's dumb. They didn't do this. They didn't have this and this. I'm like, no, come to my face. Tell me. Like I learned to deal with confrontation. The thing is, if you're gonna confront me and talk shit to me, like I'm trash Street Fighter 5, I want you to do the same thing to me when you don't like how I run this tournament. Cause I will tell you, like, all right, cool. Well, thank you for letting me know. I will improve on it, and I take it with kindness. Or if we're something that is just negative and just dumb for no reason, fuck you.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
it's about tolerance, man.
Right?
It's like eventually, I've seen this before too. I've seen TOs break down. It can be a lot. It can definitely be a lot. And if you want, people add on to the negative atmosphere when they start dogpiling and trashing the event after a person particularly like worked really hard to put it together.
Yeah.
And things could have been so much avoided had they just communicated or given advice in this particular situation, and it wouldn't have happened. Right? Like I can give you an example where there was an event where the monitors were lagging pretty badly, but nobody spoke up about it. No one spoke up about it. No one went to the TO and said, "Hey man, the monitors were pretty laggy" or something like that. They never talked to the TO. So what do? They go into their little group chat. They go into their little hermit shell. Social media. Man, the monitors at that point were laggy. Oh man, I couldn't concentrate on my match and stuff like that. Well, why didn't you tell nobody nothing? Maybe the TO wasn't too aware of that, of that fact at the time. But had communication happen, that could be avoided for a future event. People have to learn. They have to learn and grow. That's
Correct.
how That's how it's like a relationship. You gotta have communication. You gotta have communication. When there's communication, there's trust. There's trust. You can build the trust with knowing that the TO is going to take care of it because you address them in their situations. How many tournaments, Bates? How many tournaments have you ever been to? Like just round it up a number.
I can't
a number
count,
top of
bro.
your
I
head.
can't count, bro. I don't know.
You say at least in the hundreds, right?
I'm well over 300 at this point.
Okay, all right, 300 plus tournaments. Retro, how many tournaments have you ran?
Ooh, shit. That's like almost 200 now.
About 200, right?
Hmm.
All right, so we up there. So all of us up there are past the 100, 100 tournament mark. So we know, you know what I mean, we know what time it is. We know how, we've been to these venues, we've seen these players, we've met these players, we've talked with people and stuff like that. We have experience in that. And I'm sure the people who are listening, they've attended quite a number of events too as well, so they know what's going on. So the thing is like nothing moves, there has to be unity in order to be a community. That,
Bars.
so that's the only way it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? If everybody looking out for each other, it's gonna operate smooth like butter.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's closed mouths, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna happen. Either people stop showing up to the event, or like Bates said, like me and Bates said earlier, they come to the event, they play, they pay their venue fee, they play, and then they just leave.
Yep.
We've seen that before too. We've seen groups of
Oh.
people do that before.
Yep.
So it's just you play your tournament, you leave or whatever. Do you complain that the monitor or something or the station was laggy or something?
Mm-hmm.
Well, why didn't you tell nobody after after the event or during the event?
Correct.
It's just little things like that can help out in the long run. That makes the TO go look in the store. Go on eBay, go on Amazon or whatever. Look at these lagless monitors or whatever. Let me see what MSI got. Does Lenovo got a sale? Like, what's going on? Right?
Right.
So there are things like that. Little things like that can definitely help improve your scene.
Right.
And the reason, let me circle back to my main point.
Go for it.
And then I'll pass it on to you guys. So the reason why I say that is when people are out there streaming the game for their scene, and their locals are running the exact same game that they're streaming, but they don't mention the local. They don't talk about the local or whatever. They got a tournament or something Saturday. They don't say nothing about it. Not a daggone thing about it. There's a local going on Saturday. Can you tell people about the local? Guess what? The local's also streaming. Are you going to tell people to tune into the stream? Can they watch the stream of your local or whatever? And it just goes back to social awkwardness. Some people are just not social. That's why I said this whole cloud content creation era, this shit is whack, yo. This shit is just whack because people have so many resources to help their scene grow and develop and expand to be even further. And one more thing I'll add on to that. When people are streaming, right, it said, hey, I'm in the area. Yeah, hey, I live there. I live in that state. Are there any locals in their area? Are there? And the streamer can't answer the question, or the streamer say, yeah, there's an event there, or I don't really go there that often, but there's an event. Well, why don't you go? They can't answer. They can't answer. I've seen that before too. So it's just, I don't know. It's just a weird stigma of just.
Right.
I guess because you're getting the viewers, you don't gotta really settle, or you don't really have to prove yourself, or people are just afraid, or are people just afraid to lose, Bates? Is that it? They just afraid to lose offline? That hurts their confidence, their ego?
No, I don't think it's that deep. I think really just people don't understand the magnitude of their actions, man. Not doing something is the same as doing something. A lot of people don't understand that. If you don't make a decision, somebody's gonna make it for you. Like things like that, those are concepts that people aren't taught nowadays. For example, right? Let's say we all go and we watch a movie, right? And we're like, okay, somebody goes, okay, what movie do you want to see? If you don't say anything, then you're not going to get to see the movie you want to see. You're not guaranteed to see the movie you want to see because we're all going to decide, right? So by you not saying anything, you decided to leave it up to somebody else. Which is the same thing as if you go to a tournament and you don't like what's going on and you don't say anything, or there's something that inconveniences you and you don't say anything, then you are okay with it just continuing. And then all you're going to do is you're going to get mad, leave, and go on social media because it's easier to do that, which is also deciding to do something about it, right? I'm going to go on social media. I'm going to say this, and this on social media. Okay, well, did you solve the problem? Because I was right there. You could have talked to me, and we could have fixed it there. But instead, you would rather go to your echo chambers and try to make people look bad or like really make it a negative thing, you know. And another thing is a lot of people don't know how to engage with other people. So, oh, I've seen this person before, and I think I know he's there, but I don't know how to engage with that person. It's something as simple as like asking a question or even, hey man, this is wrong. I think something's messed up here. Have y'all seen it? I'm gonna remember you because you were the guy that came up to me and told me about it. You know, you leave an impression. Those are just different ways to leave impressions without having to come out of your quote unquote shell or without having to really put yourself out there. So I just don't think these things are taught anymore, or I don't think they're valued anymore. And I think we really got to make this a thing again. It sucks that we have to relearn these concepts to people, but it's important. These concepts are important. It's important for longevity, and it makes people better, you know? A lot of people, I'm sure there's people that are scared to ask for a ride to a tournament or scared to sit in a car with people they've only met for a month and drive all the way to another state, you know? That's probably a terrifying thing to think about for some people. For me, it's like, that's what I did the first couple months I started competing. I didn't go to my first major by myself. I didn't go to my first like big tournament by myself. I went with other people, and I couldn't afford it all the way by myself. So I asked for help. And, you know, don't be scared. And then another thing is, you know, you might get rejected. Somebody might not like you and they might ignore you. I can't tell you how many times I've been ignored. You know how many times I've like talked to somebody and asked for help or asked for advice and they just look at me like, I don't know. Or I can't help you with that. Or who are you? You know, can't be afraid of rejection. You can't be, well, you can't, you're going to be afraid, but it's not the end of the world. There's always going to be somebody else who can respond or get you the information you need. Don't just be discouraged by that one thing, you know? Like, keep going. There's plenty of bad apples in the community. I remember the first time I met Chris G. First time I met Chris G, he was in the elevator. I said, what's up, man? He didn't even say anything back. Fast forward about 8 years later, I'm beating him in top 8 Sam show. You see what I'm saying?
Did he say anything to you then?
Nah. Well, I said good games, man. I think you're a good player. He's like, yeah, okay, man, good games. That's it. That's all I got out of it. You can't like let negative interactions like that fuck you up. You see what I'm saying? So I really want to hit that home. Like, I really want to encourage people, be active in your community, talk to people, don't show up, play, leave, and do nothing. Contribute some kind of, even just giving somebody advice on a character you play or how to beat your character is contributing, because you leave impressions on people, or you can help somebody.
Especially if you're if you're a strong player, you know, people feed off of that mentality, and they might carry that same energy until they're seen. You know, not everybody is as social and open, right? How many strong players out there that just may on occasion show up to a local, they'll maybe talk to one or two similarly strong players, that's it, and then they'll just leave, right? You know, they don't really socialize with everyone like that unless you would have to go up to them, or their personality is just more of a silent type. You know, they don't really talk like that, but they're really, really ridiculously good at the game, right? And and it's funny you mentioned that elevator story that you had with Chris G, because this happened. You know, I've had a similar experience with another player. You know, but it was an odd experience. So you had like a more of a silent type experience. I had an experience where a player kept following me. Yeah, you know, Wolfcrone. You know, Wolfcrone was the Ultra. You know, the Viper was the Viper player back in Ultra, right? So at final round, I was just sitting there playing casuals with somebody. So he asked the person, "Can he get next?" So he gets next, right? He plugs in. He doesn't talk. He doesn't, you know, he didn't say anything to me. He just plugged in, and we just played. So I said, "Hey man, how's it going?" And he just said, and he just nodded. He didn't say nothing. He nodded, and I'm like, "What the hell?" So we start playing or whatever. We get done. I get up. I go to another station, And after a few games, I get up and go to another station. Either that following evening or the next day. I can't remember which one it was. I get back to play some more casuals or whatever. I play someone different. After a few games, guess what I see on my left side waiting to get next? It's Wolf Chrome. So Wolf Chrome says, "Oh, can I get next?" I'm like, okay. So I guess I beat that. Yeah, I beat that person. Then he sat down. We played some more. Later on that day, guess what happened again?
What?
Guess
That's
what happened
crazy.
again, bro? I'm like, bro, where's this dude coming from, bro? But yeah, I mean, it's like the reason why I say that it's just like really social interaction is just like really important to try to maintain. I think we can. I mean, we don't. God, how would I say this without sounding rude? Um, I would say a simple hi, a simple 10 to 15-second conversation can go a long way. But at least because he's like, especially if it gets a newer player, you may introduce yourself. Hey, my name is this. My name is this. Nice to meet you. Where you from? Stuff like that. Like just a quick little conversation that can go a long way because that's a good impression for somebody. But if you go to an event and just play somebody, just beat their ass and that's it. That's nothing. Like what is that? There was no human interaction between you two. So I think that's very important especially for a new player too as well, because like damn, they thinking to themselves, oh, I could have just done this. If nobody's talking to me, I could have just stayed home and did this. I didn't have to come out to this event because nobody's talking, nobody's doing anything. I could have just stayed on my couch or in my room and played online and had a similar experience if nobody's talking. So I think that'll go a long way. Just trying to be friendly. I mean, you don't have to befriend everybody you meet, but those quick little interactions can definitely help go a long way.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we segue, you mentioned earlier, Sir Retro, about some kind of event that was going on. I think now that we have more people here, now that Bates is here, I think there's something like a trailer or something, maybe.
Sure.
I don't know if you still have that.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I can pick that
Yeah,
up right quick. And
yeah. Base. Check this out. I don't know if
oh
you
Oh
can.
shit, we
yeah.
got trailers. Oh shit.
Yeah. You might have to check this out real quick.
Yeah, man. Like I said, for those who don't know, I made this last night. I surprised myself how well it turned out. Go to meet this part right quick. But yeah. Of course, for those who do know, we might have something coming up soon, pretty soon. And of course, I've been maybe talked about it a few times. We brought up maybe once or twice in the episode or two. But this is kind of where I kind of want to give you guys visual, a little more visual look at it. So give me 1 second. If I can pause you right
Got
quick.
trailers.
Yep. Per.
That trailer, y'all.
Yeah.
That trailer.
You may not hear it on your well if you watch the stream then you'll see and hear it, but you'll see it when I show it to you out in a second. Oh, let me do this then. But yeah, this will look like, and let me switch over. Boom.
Once again, man, I apologize for being late, y'all.
You're good, dude.
I'm sorry, we already docked your pay, yo.
Come on, man. I need that, man. I need that, man.
This man's 2 you were 2 hours late for work, man. We got docked that pay, bro.
Man, come on, bro.
I docked that pay.
You owe me. You owe me a shot next time you come down. That's all.
I got you.
Don't try. You try to kill me from like you did drink hack. No, you good. No, actually, I was okay. Trust me, my tolerance
No,
is
you
better.
like you was doing all right. I just was trying to help you have a good time, man. I think.
Oh, I did.
My mission.
That was fun,
Yeah.
man. All right, I got the trailer ready, so I'm gonna meet us on the stream end, and just so yep.
Pop is playing out of his mind right now. Oh, the dog and up there. Ooh, the Air Force smash, so clean. Pop's so good with that.
What's the mix up? Oh! No! Dang! 3 times the charm! Yo! Oh my God! They needed that burst. Oh, watch out for the super. He's looking for the super. Are you blocking? Oh, he grabbed the ambulance screen of super.
That was tight.
Yo, check that out.
Yep.
Check that out. That's definitely what's up. You know what the most interesting part of that trailer? Well, one of the most interesting things of that trailer is, Retro?
What was it?
That you got footage of Terrence playing Street Fighter V, yo. You got the elusive Terrence. That's a rare sighting. But you had footage of that man playing 5, yo. Let's go.
And also to Bates, because he was commentating that match in Good to Gear too, and that was
With
Coach.
yeah, I remember watching Marco hit the pop buster.
Man,
That was fun. Yeah. Shout outs to the brother Marco cracking. That was fun.
yep.
That was a good trailer, man. I like the theme of it.
Appreciate it.
I mean, even though Bates he qualified, I don't think Bates will be able to make it. But
Hey, I qualified. I suck at fighting games. I don't know how I qualified.
Yeah, he
That's
qualified
true.
in Street Fighter.
and Strive, I think. Or Tekken was it Tekken or Strive? I think it was.
I wouldn't say Strive. That's because you did play Strive too.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm a beast, man. Shoot.
Yeah, you qualified, but based on the other side of the world right now, so
I'm literally on the other side of the country. It's very.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, it's
It's all good.
Yep, Street Fighter and Good to Gear.
Oh, damn,
I'm gonna be watching though. I'm gonna be watching.
We'll-
So do y'all just give the next slot to the next person with the most points, or?
Yeah, so no, what we do is that we're going to actually open up the spots for last chance qualifiers. So the runner ups of LCQ will get the spot instead. We'll move people and move it up, partially because of the fact that not everyone, like if people stop playing the game or not interested or whatever. So it'd be more fair for those who actually going to compete and to get the spot. We'll move everybody else up, and the bottom spots will be for the last chance qualifiers, runner ups and whatnot.
Yeah. So basically, I think So basically, whomever wins the last chance qualifier, they'll get that slot. But I think Retro was saying the second place person in the last chance qualifier will get a spot as well.
Right.
Or whomever would be missing.
Right, because like I said, some people who may have the spots already that are already qualified, they're not going to make it, especially at the bottom part of the. So, I did reach out to everybody in general and double checked, and some said they couldn't make it, some said they could, and some stopped playing the game or whatever reason. It'll be more fair, so then more LCQ can qualify. Should have more people be willing to compete so they can qualify rather than just one person. It'd be more encouraging, yeah.
Got you. But there it is, man. That tournament is looking immaculate at the Hall of Sports too, as well. The Georgia Hall of Sports.
Yeah.
And you got people coming in from out of town, booking their hotels or whatever, trying to save a little extra cash.
Yes, and you got to
earn that
tomorrow.
cash.
So Hotel 45 is the I go post in the chat, but yeah, Hotel 45 is actually a downtown hotel. You got a group rate. We got still some few rooms open till tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day to book it at a discount rate. It's the cheapest that we actually have it in Macon for now, which is really weird because the thing is, it's actually down the street from the hotel, from the venue, and parking.
So there it is. There it is. All right. Well, with that being said, before we dive into the final announcements, final slides for the podcast, Bates, did you have anything you'd like to discuss or talk about?
Nah, man, I'm not trying to go on another tangent, man. Y'all already been going for like 4 hours, man. All I just wanted to have like a couple closing statements. If you need help in the FGC, reach out. We got 3 good guys here, even more good guys in the community. Don't be scared to reach out in person. When you see them, just reach out. Another thing is, we're gonna be coming up on hard times with the economy here in a couple years. I really, really, really just want everybody like just focus on getting your finances up, getting your life up, man. That's currently what I'm doing. And we all love fighting games or whatever, but always make sure you take care of your health, take care of your finances, and just make sure you got a solid situation. And that by default will make you a better player as well. A lot of us, we try to improve at fighting games, but part of improving at fighting games is making sure you as a person is also doing well. When you have when you have less mental strain on your head because of stresses of finances, stress of family, whatever it may be, when you handle all of that stuff and you confront that stuff and you come out on top, it makes you a better player as well. So, I just want to spread some message of positivity. Keep working hard, stay on the grind, and never forget to enjoy yourself and do the things that you enjoy.
All right, there it is, man. Wonderful, wonderful message there by Brother Bates. But Bates, man, where can they well, actually, we'll come back to that. But yeah, why you so don't laugh? Why you laugh?
Because I'm a hard man to reach. I get it, man. I'm a hard man.
Now we'll come back to it, man. We'll circle back to it, man. I'm gonna let you say what you gotta say, man. We gotta look you up somewhere, man. We gotta get a magnifying glass, a telescope, or something. We gotta look in the tree and try to look for Bates, man. Like Bates, where's Bates? Yeah. We're gonna say, where's Waldo? We're gonna replace Waldo, and we just gonna say, where's Bates? It's gonna be a picture of Bates with the red and white stocking cap on his head. Yeah. Let's go.
I'm done.
Where's Bates? But yeah, man, big shout outs to Bates, man, doing a real life worldwide warrior traveling thing going on. But yeah, Retro, we got the slides ready for the good folks.
Yes. So we're gonna have, of course, we explain more in details because this is actually today, if not mistaken. Later on today.
Yes. At starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is a Memorial Street Fighter V tournament going down for a Street Fighter V Nash player by the name of AO Kyle Geely, who tragically passed away a few weeks ago. I entered a memorial tournament for him, so that's going down later on today. There's the Twitch stream that is going to be streamed on. I think check-in is at 5 and the tournament starts at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys want to tune into that, please do so. But yeah, that is definitely going down today for that event.
Yep. And I think it was something because he sent me something else correct. Because let me see what else that we had.
Hey, was it the
give me 1 second.
Found it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, so of course, there's a major post up in a second, but major shout outs to the homie Jackalman, because Juicy. Well, first we'll do the it's in order. I got you. So we also have a tournament by the from Juicy Monthly. I'm sorry, I have it up in a second.
Juicy J.
That's no the thing. No lie. Every time I see it. Every time I see that Juicy J somehow pops up, and it sounds like that should be the name of that should be the event name versus that. Okay, there we go. Sorry. So you want to explain more details, shall we?
Yes. So yeah, the Juice Lee Monthly is going to be next weekend on Saturday, the 11th, out there in Orlando, Florida. The data team, some of the members of the data team are heading down there to compete in a variety of different games. Big shouts to Kraken, Data Kraken. He will be streaming a couple of games too as well. Right there, going down to Orlando to speak with it. I mean, the Juicy
Mm.
the Juicy Monthly team, I think some of their members they came down to our events, the data events too here in Georgia. So they made the travel up here, which was surprising. So I was like, well, let's show that hospitality and take a trip down there for the one time. So and plus, that's it's been a while since people have had played or competed. So this will be a good opportunity to stretch those, the cami stretch those muscles, and go down there to compete as well. So yeah, that's going down next weekend. You see the sponsors below. Junk Food Gaming. Tampa Never Sleeps. Variety of different sponsors and stuff for their monthly down there. So big shout outs to the Juicy Monthly team.
Yep. Also, too, reach out to them, and they did. They did spread the word about our event as well. But before our event, so if you can't make it out to an event in person, what about trying it online with Jackalman and the
Oh
Untamed
shit,
Gaming?
this is for me.
Yes, sir. You want to talk about or?
Well, yeah, the next bit we coming up. Big shout outs to, of course, Untamed Gaming, who's still represented. We're in the final season for Street Fighter V, so we got two more of these tournaments before the season finals, and that'll be it for the game. So, just in time to get it go on a little vacation before six starts. But yeah, this is tournament number 12 here. It's a 13-month total. I mean 13 tournament total for the series. 13th being the last chance qualifier for points to earn points to try to get in the top 8 finals. But the top 8 finals, once I get the information on that, I'll send it to Retro and we'll go from there. But yeah, this is just one of those tournaments for that particular date. So even if you can't make it, you can always tune in. There's the information right there. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Untamed Gaming 2's Twitch channel.
Yep. And of course, last but not least, we're going to have our events. There's more in a little detail right there. Of course, there's the Cherry Blossom Festival that's happening in under 2 weeks. It'll be a 2-day event. First time we had something like that in a while. From March 18th to the 19th. Games featured mainly is going to be Street Fighter, Tekken 7, Guilty Gear Strive, and Smash Brothers for the main games. Of course, you saw in the trailer a little bit details about it that is going to be a last chance qualifier on that Saturday for all 4 games to get the final spots of the top 16, and then between Saturday and Sunday we'll have the finals for the top 16 for all the games, and going to be for the payout for at least top 8. $200 is already set so far. However, a pop bonus has been thrown in through Matcherino by Swag Out Nerds, and I'm not sure anyone's paid attention to what's going on. I kind of freaked out a few days ago, and much as our local scene, but someone decided to add a $200 additional dollars to Guilty Gear Matcherino. So that in particular has $425 for the pot, and so the top 8 payout. Someone decided to be to benefit us and nice enough to give us a good chunk of money, spread the word around it, and yeah. So good to get players. Hope you guys are ready because I think going to be more competition coming for that. However, additional stuff that is going to be featured there. There is going to be an area where there are going to be PCs for LAN parties for other games that are not fighting games. So we might see like some Fortnite or some, what is it? Rocket League. Thank you. And a few other games. Though we actually going to have a PC area for LAN parties. We're actually going to have an area or a section of the area where you can bring your own casual games. So you actually going to have you want to do side tournaments for KOF or Sam Show or wherever else. We'll actually have an area you can run your own casual side tournaments as well. Then, of course, we're going to have various sponsors and vendors. There's going to be a presentation and there will be some announcements that is actually will lead to career stuff. So it's not just the fighting game stuff that we'll also be celebrating and definitely we will be providing, but it'll be a lot more. So your $30 is going to definitely get you more to a lot of opportunities, to a lot of ideas, and also yes, we are going to have food there. We definitely have food, and then water. We'll have a water fountain, and water is free, so you don't have to pay for a water fountain. Just let you know. But we might ask you for some water bottles as well. We're gonna have some soft drinks. We're gonna have plenty of snacks and plenty of food you can actually eat while you're there. So, and of course during the Cherry Blossom Festival, so outside of the venue is a lot going on at the festival, and that's basically there's like a 9-day event. So, like I said, you're gonna have so much going on. But yes, for the tournament, the venue itself is a 2-story venue. It's upstairs, downstairs. It's also a park museum, so you can actually go around and check out what's going on. There's an area you can play basketball in, an area you can throw football in. You can mess around the race cars and check out some other sports stuff related things. And we're gonna have a theater with a nice little stage, and there's gonna be internet, so streaming will be very, very, very possible, as well as, of course, definitely people can be a guest. Well, we might see if allow of people to be on the Wi-Fi, but it's gonna be have internet. We have pretty much all the resources that we want. This is a really, really exciting, huge thing for us. I'm super excited, and I will be the head tournament organizer running this event. So any questions online or offline, please let me know. We want to make sure that we run this as smooth as possible. Then we're going to have a raffle for various prizes. So we're going to have at least 4 or 5 items to give away. Those who also pay for the venue fee will get a free raffle from the start. So, and we also going to have a nice little physical thing for those who make it at least top 3 of our tournaments each. So we're gonna have special things, maybe a medal, maybe a trophy, but either way, yeah. So we have a whole lot that we're definitely doing our best with. It's our first event in a while at this caliber. I'm super excited. We're all excited. People are signing up as we go. The people in the city are very excited. They're spreading word about it. The city officials spreading word about it. Shouts to them. Shouts to the major support. Shouts to Swag Out Nerds. And of course, shout outs to Middle Georgia FGC for being supportive of what we have. So who knows what will happen at this event. Thank you.
All right. Was that the last one?
Yep, that is the last one, I think.
All right. Well, that concluded on the business side of the slide things. Business side of the slide. That's bars. All right. But yeah. But yeah. Big shout outs again to Retro, man. This event I think is definitely one for the history books as well. You'll have a lot of eyes on this event as again, spectators, fans, family. A lot of people are going to come in to support. You got out of town people coming in, and I know you guys are going to put on a great show, man. Definitely your team's going to put on a great show. No questions on that. So yeah, man, very, very good stuff, man. This event I think it will be one for the books. But with that being said, before we get out of here, Big Bates, where can people find you at besides looking on the globe or looking in the Where's Waldo book?
Well, right now I'm currently working out in the middle of the desert in Arizona, but you get in contact with me on Twitter at BigBates, or just hit me up on Steam. Um, and yeah, man, it's just hard to reach me. I check Facebook every once in a while too, but that's about it, brother. Just Twitter at BigBates.
Mhm.
I I
I'll
got
be
you.
creeping.
The international man of mystery, Big Bates. Yeah.
I'm a man of many
Mm-mm-mm.
titles.
Big Bates. Retro, yo. Where can the good people check you out at?
Pretty much everywhere, especially at this point, because I will be everywhere spreading the word and everything. Discord, so Retro08. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, even. You know, Retro08. I'm so Retro. You'll find me, of course, here on Twitch. Definitely, I'm very open and very easy to reach to. Any questions, comments, concerns, and you want to play matches, or you want to, chill, or you want to learn some beginner stuff. Because I also do stream also to fighting games, and also stream retro games on Tuesdays. So definitely hit me up anywhere you can find me on here on the internet.
All right, there it is. It said Bates might not be able to find Bates, but you could definitely find Sir Retro. Love to see it, yo. I'm kind of in the middle of it between y'all
Mm-hmm.
here, but you can check me out at Mind of Shadow Ace on Twitter if you want to follow. This channel is close to getting 200 followers, so I hopefully we can, you guys can hit that goal and show some support, especially for those who are tuning in live. We had some new viewers in today, from our normal cast, from our normal all stars that we have, of course, the veterans, the OGs. I want to shout out you guys as well. FGC Chris, Warden of the Sand. We had Dr. Bane tuning in. That Geef, we had Finicky or
Finn,
Finn,
yep.
the Ryu player.
And also
Played him a
Alex
couple of
too.
times. Yeah, I played them a couple of times. We've had others tuning in. I'm sorry if I missed your name here, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. And of course, shout outs to the lurkers. The lurkers were in there. They may not type in the chat, retro, but they out there listening
Mm-hmm.
live and direct. I see those names. Don't worry. We're not gonna shame y'all for just lurking. If y'all just want to lurk and chill, that's cool. Don't break your silence. Don't break your code. But thank you guys so much for that support. For those who are listening to the rebroadcast, we want to thank you too as well. I know some people may not be able to tune into the live broadcast, but they'll check it out throughout the regular week. So we appreciate that too as well. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We already got. I will say this: we already got episode 5 lined up. I'll get with Retro on the extended details on that. I already have somebody that I think is going to be the most interesting, one of the most interesting episodes of the season. The only clue I can give away to who it could possibly be right now is Los Compadres. That's the only thing I can say. So if you know what Los Compadres means, you might have an idea. You could possibly have an idea. But if you don't know, then I can't tell. I can't say any more. I don't want to give away no spoilers. But for right now, I think episode 5 will definitely be the most interesting one, and it's gonna be ironic too as well. So episode 5, Street Fighter 5, get it? Yeah, that kind of okay.
Hmm.
All right, but yeah, we'll see what happens. GG's, I'm out the door. Me, Bates, and Retro, we out the door. You guys have a great evening. Be safe. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting. Again, for all of our followers and new followers, new listeners, old listeners, we appreciate that support, and we're just
Mm-hmm.
gonna keep going up from here. Big Bates, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I got a doc to pay for 2 hours, but I appreciate you for giving your
Uh,
I appreciate you for giving me your insight, brother.
yeah, no, I appreciate y'all for having me, man. Next time I
Oh,
get the time zone right. My bad. I got So I be forgetting sometimes. I be all over the place though.
Nah, it's all good, man. You're a busy guy, man. But I appreciate you for at least coming through the checkpoint time and talking with us real quick. I think we got a lot. We discussed a lot, man. You got a lot out, and I think it's still gonna be good, man. So I'll definitely be listening to the rebroadcast while I'm working. So it'd be something to get me through the shift for tomorrow. So thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. GG's Retro. You already know what to do, man. You send us off somewhere